Hello.
Hello.
Made it.
Here we are. We're all seated and stowed.
Yes.
Hey, quick question. Because
Yes,
the viewers don't know what we do prior
Well,
while that's running.
we were gonna do a whole intro like "Hello, welcome to the show," but go on,
It's
Wombat.
not our
Please,
style.
please
What's going to
continue.
happen when we all get older? Are we going to do like a pee break in the middle? Like, how's this work? Like, are we just going to be
Little
like, hey,
packs.
we're in the intro?
packs.
Little facts. Adult diapers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it could be
Let's
like
go.
it could be like a game. It's like, all right, when was I peeing?
Yeah. Watch the
When I
eyes.
was making the most.
The eyes will tell you.
Yeah.
The
Right.
eyes
Just like
will
when you're
tell you.
flying, right? It's like,
Oh,
"But he's peeing.
Dude, if I could pee it when I'm tanking, I could
Yeah,
pee when I'm
exactly.
doing this show. In
Yeah,
fact,
you
you don't know
can.
if I've already been doing that the whole time. You can't see my hands.
That's right.
You don't know what's
well,
happening.
thanks for having me back on, guys. This has been great.
Well, if you'd have
Um,
let us do the intro, I would have welcomed
do the
you, but You
intro.
know what? I'm just.
I gave you
I'm
like
just here.
5
It's not my
seconds.
show. There's no mover in Gonky. It's just whatever. It's your world. I'm just a squirrel.
Welcome, Wombat.
I see a lot
Thank
of
you.
comments talking about Wombat, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
All right. Well,
It's good
let's
to be
start
back.
with that.
good to be back.
Let's start with the. Where did it go?
What do you
Let's not start with that one.
Why? We have to. $6.96. I have to read it.
Oh, wow. Thank
Plus,
you.
he's a chemtrail guy. Pneumatic Elephant says they move Wombat from the training role, and an airline is constantly on the news. Can't be a coincidence. Have a great show. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's a coincidence.
Uh,
Hey, I just wanted to start by saying thanks to all the viewers, because the last time I was on, which was 2 weeks ago, I brought up the Wake for Warriors thing I'm doing, and my goal was 1,000. And right after this show, it smoked through 1,000, so I made it 2,500, and then it went through 2,500, so now I've made it 5,000.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Wake for Warriors is blown away by how
how
awesome and how generous.
how many of
That's
those
awesome.
viewers were
How many
Canadian?
what? Oh no, 0 from the Great White North. I'm
How
sure.
many
'Cause
Canadian
they're in
dollars?
dollars. They're in freedom dollars. So
For now.
for now.
Oh, no. Look,
Hold on, let me
you
check.
cannot joke.
Look,
You cannot
It's not a
joke.
There's
show
no
if you
tactical
can't
hockey
call
team.
back to older
Yeah,
shows.
there's not a tactical hockey team storming my lawn. I think we're all fine. I
Oh,
think
gosh.
the most part, other than the people I had to block.
Oh, dude, people have such
Blocked.
thin skin, dude.
Oh,
It's
dude,
like-
the emails. I
it's
mean, I was
painful. I
just
know.
short of death threats.
I got those.
Seriously.
Those are fun.
I know, but you've been doing it better. Like, but just short of that. And I'm like,
People-
are you kidding me? Like, are you that dumb?
Death threats are a
dude.
good way to meet women.
Is it?
That's true.
Please explain that a little bit more.
You're good, Wombat, because you know
all
you
you
don't work-
get.
You're good.
if you're
That's the-
single, it's a good way to meet women.
I'll keep that in mind if this doesn't work out. I appreciate it.
Dag says, "Are there Move and Gonky show stickers? How do I get one?
That's an idea.
Do we have stickers?
How do you guys not have stickers? Do you have
Oh,
coins?
yeah, we
you
need
gotta do
stickers.
coins.
No, I mean we're still working
Challenge
on the merch
coins.
stuff, dude. We're working
Dude,
on the
so
merch.
Stickers, challenge coins, hats.
Reach out to Valor Coins and Pins, seriously, and have them do your coins. Veterans, awesome. That's who does mine. That's who does Wake for Warriors. Like, they're good people to work with. Yeah, get some coins. People love coins.
RMOs.
Yeah,
Sure, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. You were singing Air
Shirts.
Force ditties a minute ago, so
That's right. I am quite the singer.
but yeah, stickers are easy too. Anybody can do stickers. I mean, shoot, I
I
have
don't even
stickers.
have stickers, man. I think all
I've
I
got
have
stickers.
coffee mugs, right? Shot glasses, t-shirts. I think.
Is that a sticker? That's
Yeah.
not a Mover and Gonky show sticker, though.
No, but it's a sticker.
That's cool.
Um,
Something
Yeah.
to work on, man. There's always something to work on, Wombat.
Well, when do you guys start working? That's what I want to know.
Oh, dude.
When do we stop?
Exactly.
When does it stop?
I don't know.
That's right, dude. That's right.
When
That's
does
why I don't do it every time. I literally flew a trip with a guy who
Sorry, I didn't know we were going into story.
I told you this, right, Mover, that I was running late for a flight and I had to do the awkward, like, excuse me. So, public service announcement to everybody on a flight: stand to the right of the jetway so your pilots can get down to the actual plane, because they can't get you off the ground safely if they're not on the plane. But so as I am politely asking 46 people in the jetway, excuse me, and 99% of them shoot me a look Like, why are you cutting in line?
Very Canadian of you, by the way. Go on.
I know. And but the last guy is around the corner, and you get kind of stuck at the door because like there's nowhere to go.
Mhm.
He literally looks at me. I was like, "Excuse me," and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, you're on the Mover and Gonky show," as loud as he can in the jetway, and I'm just like,
Oh, dude.
I'm like,
Tell him I'm a regular. It's no big deal.
and I was like, and then he was like, "Hey, do you mind if I ride your jump seat?" I was like, "If you stop saying stuff like that, you can." Like, so it was.
Oh,
pretty
he
funny,
was the.
cool. He was commuting. Really nice guy. But then the FO I was flying with wants to start a podcast, so he was asking me a ton of questions that I had zero answers to.
Don't recommend it.
Because I don't do any. I was like, here's what I recommend. Have some guy that doesn't give a damn what he says come on and flirt the line of demonetization, because apparently that seems to help.
And jail.
And jail,
Demonetization and jail.
He will
And
not
death threats.
provide any good stuff. He will not actually prepare for anything.
No,
But people find it funny. So
no. But hey,
again, thank you for the Wake for Words. It's up for at least another
That's
2
awesome.
weeks.
That's awesome.
Very thankful for that. That's Dave Deep. Thanks you. Everybody is very thank you. It's
I'm
awesome.
glad we can help. That's awesome.
Yeah.
now we
it's
need
awesome.
to do some one for Battle Scarred Motorsports.
Yeah, let's do
race
it.
cars.
I'll do it after this one closes. I'll put it up.
Race cars.
And then you need to
Speaking
get
of-
Cletus in on that one because he's a big race car guy. Sorry.
Speaking of, thank you, Corvette World Rob. Wombat needs a Corvette.
He's
I
had
had
a
a
Corvette.
Dude, Rob, you might be taking mine back, man. Whew.
Does it have a check engine light again?
No, the check engine light's fine, but good God, the road noise.
But the rest of the car is not.
Oh, well,
awesome.
that and I need race car money. So there's
You
two
need-
problems here. I
you
need
do.
race car money, and it's loud.
We need
Like
somebody
road
to
noise.
sponsor you some tires to see if that's it. Like that's what
We
I
need
want to see. I want to see
We need
somebody
to
step
sponsor
up.
me. No, we need to sponsor me a race car. So then I just
No,
keep the car.
I'm all for that too. You know that, but I want
Yeah.
somebody to, like loan you a set of tires because it won't take long to tell if it's the tires. Like you put 4 tires on there that are different tires and go for a drive, you'll know immediately.
4 tires and Sunoco fuel.
Yeah. So
But
it's probably the tires.
special.
it's probably
That's
the tires.
that baby.
You
It's
go on
gotta
the
be.
outside, it can hold.
So
Kids, they don't know what we're talking about. Dan O'Grady from Canada says, about to head out to play some hockey. Excited to play this episode back after. Please just skip the first 10 minutes.
Thanks, Dan.
Here's the fiver for the
Thanks,
Wombat
Dan. We
UFO.
love you.
We love you, Dan. Even
no,
though
I
the
think
rest
he
of your-
actually he was one of the supporters. There were some really awesome supporters.
Look, dude, I think it's funny. Like, you didn't even like all you said was for now, and then like literally like 3 seconds later, like I love flying into Canada. It's
Yeah,
so
I
nice.
do.
It's just like people, man, are so triggered.
The problem is they don't continue, right? I mean, so if you think about everything I got in trouble for the last show, the for now comment, like you said, and then I went on to talk about how great it is up there. Then I got flack for the water gun salute
Oh, the
on the
Finney
last flight, which
Mhm.
again I thought was funny. But then I went
Mhm.
on and said, like, hey, let's just everybody lived and
Yeah.
let's be happy of that because that is truly a miracle. We'll figure out what happened. They'll retrain the pilots. It's no big deal. And then, and I know Mover doesn't agree with this, but my comment about go arounds are for quitters, like obviously I don't mean that. And I immediately went on to a story about how I went around for a wind shear, but it's like people hear that and then they're like, I'm angry. I
Well-
hate that dude. Like blah, blah, blah. And they it's like they hit pause. And it's like, hey man, like have a little
Well-
bit thicker of a skin and don't take things so seriously. Like
Well, the whole dynamic that me and Mover have tried to create with the show is we're not like trying to be news or nothing. We're trying to give like this is how
Obvious.
fighter pilots.
News or nothing. Yeah.
This is how
I,
fighter-
I can see the MLA style guide on that. Yep, we're
But-
definitely
But this is like it's just like
English is
this
our
is just like us sitting in the ready
strength.
room.
yeah.
And it's a toned down version because we
Oh,
would-
100%. Because there's no filter in the ready
Look,
room.
this show is if you want uneducated opinions of a bunch of washed up fighter pilots,
this is
you're in
it.
the right
And a
spot.
Hawkeye guy. Don't forget the Hawkeye.
This is it.
Yeah, I mean,
Loser.
it's
Yeah.
Wait, Wombat, you're a fighter pilot too.
Thank you.
News or
Thank
nothing.
you. Some
Did you
people
really
don't
say
think
that. Did that come
I've
out of my
also-
mouth?
That did come out of your
That's
mouth.
just literally what you just said.
What's funny is that came
Like
out of your
news
mouth
or
right
nothing.
after
We got the
right after
tires
I
staggered.
said right after I said that in a ready room there's less filters. So I think your brain went back to Gonky in a ready room where you don't
that wasn't.
think about
That was Gonky and a crop duster.
That's
yeah.
cat shop brain, dude. 100%.
Yeah. Shut up with this.
It's getting
my
worse,
God,
man.
dude.
It's very hard to
Shot
talk to you
brain.
these days, Gonky.
Yeah.
It is getting worse.
Oh,
Ever since you
man.
grew that
Anyway,
beard,
so
it's been.
thank you, Mover. Seriously, let's get somebody to get you new tires because I'm very curious if it's the tires because I want to like that car too. And please let me drive it before you sell
But
it.
I need the race car money.
I know you do, and I want to help you get race car money too. I will do anything I can, non-writing a check to get you race car money.
Come on, dude. It's like your half of your profit sharing.
That is not true.
We could put your face on the hood.
Dude, that would be amazing. I may actually, if you start looking for sponsors, I may donate.
I
a
am
small
starting
fee if
right
can
now.
get
I've
PR
started.
Matson.
I have begun.
Can
Well,
you
wait a
put-
minute, Mover. Why don't you? Nobody knows what we're talking about, right? I mean, why don't you?
I don't even know
Yeah,
what
if you
I'm
just did
talking
an
about.
intro, then people would know
Yeah.
what the heck we're
Mover,
talking
what's been going on with you? What's some big news?
It's not big. Well, so we were going to talk about this in the mental health minute because it's all,
No
all the
regrets,
mental
come on.
health. People are sick of me. So as you know, I've been talking about the old ARCA thing for a while. They originally said, well, so I did the test a couple years ago and we thought we were going to race, couldn't find sponsors the next year. This year I was like, hey, I'm just going to self-fund this thing. And then they said no. They said, you know what? You don't have enough short track experience. And I pressed. I said, you know, hey, listen, I'm a binary dude, you know, dumb fighter pilot. You got to tell me what that means. Like, give me a, you know, some kind of objective that I can do to be qualified. And it was do some short track. So I proposed a plan that is house of cards right now, because this is probably the busiest month I've ever had, like including leaving from one training, going to this thing. But if I can go do this race, don't buffoon it up. Allegedly, I can go race Talladega in April. So that's the goal. Hopefully I find sponsors because it's expensive. Including Wombat's face on the hood if there are no sponsors.
Yeah.
But that currently, Bobby.
This mug and for now. That's
so
all.
I agonized over this a little bit because the race car fund was the Corvette. Because when they said no, I'm like, I need to make myself feel better. I'm going to do something awesome. And then now they said yes. So I'm like, well, they said tentative yes. So sponsors will help. But theoretically, in the number 5, Bobby Gearhart, which I want to put a sticker because none of the millennials or the Zoomers or whatever in the field will understand this. But I want to put a sticker of the short circuit robot Johnny 5 on the back that says no disassemble.
That's pretty funny, actually.
You're muted, Gonky.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was even better because he was muted.
Yeah. But so that's the tentative plan. I tell you, I took the full time. Like, I'm like, hey, can you give me a week? Because he's like, I got a plan. And dude, it's a tough decision because, you know, you think about it, you talk about it, and then you're like, should I really do this? Is this?
Are we doing this on Mental Health Minute? Because I've got something keyed up. Like
we'll do it. We'll save it for later. People don't
Okay.
want to hear about this right now. So anyway, that's the plan. If I can find sponsors, or otherwise me and Luna will just be eating.
Question for the people that ask, because same thing with like Wake for Warriors and things like that. When I asked, people are like, oh, I can only give $5. Is there a minimum sponsorship? Is there like, is this going to be how does it work? Because I don't personally know.
So typically sponsorships are like, hey, X number of dollars get you the hood. X number of dollars get you a quarter panel. X number of dollars get you the rear deck lid.
What's the hood?
You know,
I'm just curious how much.
We're not, no. But that's a you see me after, because there's a lot of negotiating. There's negotiating. There's a total price that you already know, Wombat, which
I do.
You
which
know,
isn't as bad. Honestly, it's not as high as I would.
So as of right now, that is out of Mover's pocket. But YOLO. It'd be nice to offset it with some sponsorship dollars. Now, there is the ability on my website to just donate if you're like, hey, I just, want to support that. I've got a whole racing section on my website.
Oh, do you? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Can you put it in the comments, as they say?
CWLemoyne.com/racing, but I don't know. Hell, look. But anyway,
the YouTubers say, like,
I'll put it in there.
Subscribe, share. Well, that's not. Doug, can you put it in there so it actually gets in there, please?
Sure.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
right. CAVMoine.com/racing.
I don't need technical stuff going to Gonky to try to get mover sponsors. Like,
Yeah.
money's just going to end up in the ether somewhere, some PayPal account.
So
Like,
I have both invited you, Wombat, and you, Gonky, to attend these races.
Are you going to go?
To at least one of
Gonky?
them.
The one that's obviously
In your
close.
hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. Anybody could
And
do that.
so
Of
is
course.
Gonky crew chief for the first one and I am for the second one? Because I want Talladega for crew chief. Like, I want the. I mean,
Can I just be like Robert Duvall, the guy sitting there eating ice cream? Like,
isn't that the crew
talking?
chief?
Is that the
Yeah.
crew chief?
Yeah. Dude,
That is
listen.
a crew chief.
I thought
You
he's the
might
team.
be-
Wasn't he the team? Wasn't he the team
No, it's a
manager?
crew
Team
chief.
leader.
Wasn't
He was the crew chief.
was he?
Dude, and here's the thing.
Oh, geez,
Like,
dude.
Mover,
That's
you
good.
might be last in both races, but you will be the #1 driver with quotes from both Top Gun. I
Right.
mean, like cold
Top
trickle
Gun
quotes, like constantly
and
in
Days
your
of
ear.
Thunder. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw some hot
None of the other
shots in
ones can do
there.
that. I'm the first fighter pilot, so
There you go.
I mean,
I'll throw some hot shots quotes in there.
all I need is to do like after this is over, I need to find a way to start my Mission Impossible storyline because I'm just following in the footsteps of old Thomas Cruise.
Hmm.
Well, he was a
So-
Navy pilot. Like,
I was a Navy
allegedly.
pilot.
Yeah.
No, he's
Allegedly.
an honorary
I was
naval
as
aviator.
much of a
man.
Navy
I
pilot as
saw
Tom
that they
Cruise.
did that.
He's there.
And they
There's
gave him wings and everything, didn't they?
there's a handful. I mean, he's
I have wings.
Are there?
they
Well, no,
did
you
it.
earned your wings. That's different.
They did it because he's been monumental and recruiting all of us.
Yeah.
into-
I've been monumental in recruiting some
I
people,
didn't say you
like
weren't,
3 or
man.
4 or 5 of them.
I didn't say you weren't. I
just
just
saying.
said Thomas Cruise. He's through his movies.
Is his middle name Jay? Is he TJ Cruz?
I don't know.
Somebody will say. Anyway, mental health minute. That's going to be great. I'm stoked for you, and I want to do everything I can to help because this
Okay.
is it. Like, this
This
is
is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. But I still want to be the dude.
I
that
already
gets to eat ice
already
cream.
have my first sponsor.
Oh, do you? Is it
Battlescar.
you?
No, Battlescar
Oh.
is going to let me use their super high advanced cool shirt.
Oh,
Like it uses what's the technology, Douglas?
sweat.
It's called Peltier. It's a
It's French.
it's a piezoelectric.
Of course, it is.
It's
Yeah.
complicated.
It's
Yeah,
complicated.
it sounds
it uses technology to keep
Wow.
you cool, unless it fails, in which case it makes you 3 times hotter and you have to get an IV after. Ask Brad
Perfect.
Keselowski.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
dude, Brad Keselowski wasn't a fighter pilot, so suck it
Dude,
up.
I have
Buttercup.
a way lower tolerance than him. If that thing fails, I'm going to the pits. We're done.
Cool shirt
See you
failure
guys
is no
later.
joke.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not sponsoring anything with that attitude. If I got my name on the hood, you're staying out there. All right. I don't care if
makes-
you're
it makes
sweating or
sense.
not.
hallucinate.
Yeah, I'll get out. You get in.
That's fine. Can we do that? That'd be awesome.
It's not a relay race.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk to Thomas Poopy Suits.
Thanks, man.
Are we just saying things
Yes.
randomly?
Yes.
Poop chair joke.
Hey, we could auction those off, and all that money can go to you if you want to do it. I got 2 of them. If people want to do an auction for the poop chairs,
$1
They're
million.
yours.
Dude, we might be able to run real NASCAR with that kind of
Yeah.
money.
Well, just saying, if you want to do it,
We
you
might be able to
figure it
fund a
out.
season off
Those
the
poop
chair.
chairs are probably more famous than I am. So
Yeah.
if you want to do it, I will donate the poop chairs. They're sitting in the attic.
Poop chairs.
It has to
So-
say poop chair on the car, though.
Plexi.
Lexi, how are
Wombat
you?
shows are the best shows.
There
I
we go.
agree, Lexi, and I'm not even remotely biased.
What's he looking at?
The horizon.
Dude, he's tally, man. Right? Don't
No,
take
he's
your
not.
eyes off.
He's trying to take a good selfie. Don't
Padlocked.
He's padlocked. That's right. dude. God,
Matt says Wombat will make a terrific governor of Canada when they become the 51st state.
Well, that's hilarious,
Oh,
and we appreciate
no.
the $5. And by we, I mean Mover and Gonky.
$5 got us
Thanks,
canceled.
Matt.
The 2 gentlemen above me know that the chances of me doing anything successful in politics with my past are 0. So,
Yeah, I agree.
because I don't play politics.
I
so.
agree.
Laura B watching Twitch. That's right, Wombat. Lean into the triggering.
I thought it was funny when I made the comment on Twitter about the for now. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Aching Dragon says, we demand a song for Mover. Sponsor my race car.
There you go.
Please sponsor my race car.
There it is. He's desperate. You know he's desperate now. He's singing for
death threats and songs. It's the way to a woman's heart. I don't know, man. Nabil Freshkel. Hi, guys. Does Wombat ever say thanks to you guys?
Yeah, he just
You mean
did.
thanks.
He just did.
We need to thank him.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Wombat.
Hammerby with North Korean dollars. If you release stickers, why do I get the feeling they would be in the style of My Little Pony, if for no other reason than to troll?
Oh, that'd be hilarious, actually. That would be really funny.
It's not a bad marketing
How much
idea.
is 50 North Korean?
I don't know.
Okay. Corvette Roll Rob says need to switch to Michelin Pilot Sport all seasons.
So he thinks the all seasons. That's interesting.
PS4s?
I don't
They're PS4s?
I
Is
don't
that
have
what they're
the
called?
all seasons on mine.
What do you have on yours?
The 2s, but not the R, I think.
Yeah, see, I have the 2s on the 01 and it doesn't make nearly that much noise.
Yeah.
There's no way we could have driven the 01 back from Kentucky, Douglas.
If it was
if it would have been that loud.
And it's
Dude, I need noise
we think
canceling.
tires.
It's
and
tires
not
because
anything to
it
do
changes
with
based
the-
on the surface. No, it changes
Okay,
based on the road
that's
surface
tires. That's tires.
and speed.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Because my concern was the convertible.
it's a hardtop.
Yeah, but it's still a convertible. Like there's still seams, right? I mean,
Well,
so-
everything's a convertible in Corvette world.
I mean, everything's a convertible if you try hard enough, but that's not the point here. Like, I'm saying that I was
Donkey's got
concerned
T-tops.
that it
You
was
got
that.
T-tops?
Oh yeah.
Man, I remember.
Melvin Vietnam Grunt enjoying the show. Hell
Thanks,
yeah,
Melvin.
brother. Aaron says all you need is a right front splash and go.
Perfect.
Renee says, Wombat, how do we donate?
I try to keep it in
Follow
my
him on the gram.
Instagram stories, but also wakeforwarriors.com or org, or we'll put it in there. But
Thanks, Renee.
Mill. Scano 6839 says for Gonky's, I don't know if I can say that word without getting demonetized at YouTube College.
I didn't even know that's a word you could get
Yeah,
demonetized for.
Dude, if I don't
There's-
recognize it, I'm not saying
You
it.
don't
yeah,
say it.
there's
That's
so
not-
many words you could get demonetized for.
Really?
I'm assuming from what I hear from you guys.
Jason says, thanks for all you do, guys. I'm 100% disabled these days, and your vids take my mind off my horrific pain. Dude, I'm so sorry.
Wow,
That
man.
Yeah,
sucks.
it sucks. Sorry, dude.
Mover and Gonky, have you guys ever made a video of your job history? Yeah. I'll try to
I was
piece it
actually
together.
just watching some old videos, like way back on both your channels.
Yeah. The latest
No, it's you guys have come a long way. So
well,
far.
yeah. Yeah.
But
My
it's
air
fun.
crew
It's-
interview is the latest for me.
Hello, I'm C.W. Lemoyne, author of the Spectre series. Please.
That still sounds better than your first audiobook author for your first book. So
George Carlin doing a Thomas the Tank Engine impression. I got a new narrator, by the way. He
Good.
he just got the manuscript today or last week.
Nice. Good.
Wombat is my favorite guest.
Thanks,
I
Colin.
mean, never gets old to hear that. at
I'm
all.
Commander Shepard, and Wombat is my favorite guest on the Citadel.
Never gets old.
Ryan, race car money.
There you go.
Wow. Thanks, Brian.
40% of race car money.
Well, I mean,
Gonky's having to live fund. Yeah, he said a car. Dude, Turkey. We are
yeah.
famous in Turkey.
Yeah.
Hello.
it's a
Dude,
great
look at-
country and not a small
That
country
is-
either.
That's a gangster photo, dude. That
That's
guy
cool.
is like hardcore
Merc,
in his
right?
garage.
That's
with a
cool.
Mercedes. Is that a Mercedes? It looks like a Mercedes. dude.
Yeah.
He
I
is
think I
just
see the
like-
big emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Dang.
I love your show. Thank you. I set my alarm to see your show.
Oh,
12
wow.
in the morning, dude.
Thanks, man.
The best
That's
part of
awesome.
waking up is Gonky in your cup.
That's just-
There's another T-shirt. We got lots of T-shirts.
yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Merchandising.
Doug, write these
merchandising,
down. These are good
merchandising.
ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not writing anything down until we
Whoa.
get a cleared weird T-shirt.
What about? Oh, that's going to be on my channel, sir.
Only if I can do a hashtag for now with an American flag T-shirt.
Rob says I put on special tires, matched and staggered. If you go to the outside, it will hold.
That's
That's
right.
close.
So true. And it did. So
Joe says, okay, anyone who puts Johnny 5 on a race car has my vote. See?
dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Number 5 alive.
This is
Yeah.
going to gain
No
traction.
disassemble. No disassemble. My race car is going to get everybody copyright strike.
It's
That's
going to get
what's
us to, yep, exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
The
Whatever.
whole race is
Bound to happen
demonetized. Yeah. It'll be what it's all black. So if we could just make it look like Airwolf.
Is it all black?
Mhm.
I got to
As
talk
of
to
right
them
now.
Words. Maybe they'll throw
Yeah.
you a bone.
As of right now, it's all black. I'll be the intimidator. Hammerby 1169. If I didn't know better, I would have guessed Gonky served for the crayons.
Wow.
Dude,
He's
North
not a
Korea's
Marine,
off the
trust
top
me.
rope here.
They are.
They must sense the Vietnamese in me.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh no.
See, now,
We're demonetized
where-
again.
that
There it
is
was.
where this
There it was.
because I had a retort to that and I stopped.
Now,
But
I'm
in a
gonna
ready
be on the
room, I would
YouTube
not
now.
have.
See, that's the beauty of live. You just can't edit that out, man.
No.
Oh, you
no,
can, but
That's
just not
there.
immediately. We need one of those 10-second delays.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
No. Wait, we don't have a 10-second delay?
no, there was.
Shoot.
Well, Donkey's internet might, but
Yeah. Yikes.
Wicked Spider Black says, "Hi guys, late but here.
Yikes.
Nice.
I like the puppy."
Yeah.
Tom says, "Mover here's $10 to stop singing for the love of." Dude, I'm
It's-
telling you, it's a
dude.
reverse OnlyFans.
It
I
is.
keep sending you stuff. You have to send me money to stop.
Perfect.
that's
You'll have
awesome.
your race car in no time.
Yeah.
You'll have a
When's
couple of race
Talladega?
cars.
You'll have
Have a whole
two.
team.
Yeah. Angie says, "Hello from the Great White North." I feel like she's somewhere every time. Now she's in Canada. She's
Yeah.
going to mend fences. She's our ambassador, the show's ambassador to the Canadians. This is great over here. Just cold and miss my tropical climate.
Thanks, Angie.
Tech Spec Tomcat Racing Team. Boris says, Michelin Pilot Cup Sport Cup sucks. Pirelli P0 is better for any vet.
So I had the Pirellis on my original fast car, and they were loud as hell.
Dude,
And the Michelins are much quieter, and the Michelins I have on this one are quieter.
these are
but I
Cup
think
2
the ones-
Rs.
Yeah,
Some
what
new-
does the
new
R
tire.
mean?
Race car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How'd
Which
they get
I
on a
need them to
Corvette,
go
then?
on the track because I want to see if it's faster than my ZR1.
It's not
Go
good.
one-
Well,
one
it
track.
might be actually.
Well, but I'm a better driver now, so there's that trade-off where
Yeah, but you could just do hot laps back to back and see what you're better in.
I'm not putting the ZR1 back on the track at this point. It's a
I'll
fine.
drive the ZR. Fine, I could read between the lines here. I'll drive the ZR1. You drive the Z06. side
anyway.
by
Michael
side.
says DCS needs to be a sponsor. A cool F-16 scene rendering on the
Yeah.
hood.
What about you?
Yeah.
Do a lot with them. What about that?
Yeah,
They could
I
throw some
agree.
money.
Thomas says, "Did I just read this? Are we?
No, it's
No,
everybody
that's
said it,
new.
and it's awesome. It
tires are
never
still
gets old.
match perfect and staggered special. Harry Hogg, Mike Tyson." Irene says, "Racing money. Love Talladega. Put Wait for Warriors info so I can donate to that as well." Or also, I need a good smile and laugh tonight.
Thanks,
Me
Irene.
too. Who's doing the flyover? Dude, would it be cool if the Makos did the flyover or the 403rd?
Nah, that'd be awesome.
You know,
Is that what?
130 action.
Yeah.
Vor Axelon, the wise. Hey fellas, love the show, and I love it when Wombat shares his insights into life and the state of the world, but I got to scoot, catch up later.
See you,
He's
man.
about the
Thank
only
you.
one.
All right.
Well,
Let's pause for a minute and actually do some topics at 30 minutes. What would you like to do first? Do you have the one about all the TCAS RAs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we doing? Chicago? I used to work in Chicago. I don't
Is
work
that
there anymore.
the Southwest one?
Yeah.
Is this dude?
Do you have this ready, Douglas? I see it on
Yep.
your screen.
Oh, my
Can you
Here
make
it
it?
is.
Make it
No, you
large?
just changed on me, and now I got to go back. Hang on.
Hold on. Okay, that's fine.
There we go. Now I'm ready.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We're in a PIO here.
Oh
This is.
yeah.
This
This
is
is
why
how
I'm
you
the
have
talent.
switchology errors and
I'm the talent, not the production.
You ready?
Oh,
And I'm glad that what we did earlier is clear up to the viewers that this is not
Are you
the
ready
news.
now?
Hold on. Let me put the banner up.
Dude, that's hilarious.
This ain't news.
I don't even remember saying that. I can't believe that
Dude.
came out of my mouth.
I will have people come up to me or message me like, "Oh, I really appreciate what you said last night," and I don't remember what I said. I am like Will Ferrell in old
All right.
school, where I just black out.
All right. So for our editing purposes, scene. Southwest pilots attempting to land at Chicago Midway avoids private jet crossing the airport. Now, private, it's flex jet, right?
Yep.
So it's not necessarily private, but
Sure.
basically,
Ooh.
this is the go around. Play it back, Douglas, if you would.
Can we make it large, Douglas?
Can we make it
For
as
speed?
big as huge?
There we go. Perfect.
So they're doing the whole landing trick there at Midway.
Yep.
Got really good video of this.
The landing trick.
Yeah, it's a trick. And then FlexJet's like, you know what? I got places to be. And they do a little kiss. I would log that, by the way. And off they go, doing a go around. And Southwest, you guys did a great job.
Fan freaking
great job.
Bravo.
Positive rate, didn't overspeed the gear. Probably didn't overspeed the flaps. Not part of the story, so we don't know, but we're going to assume everything was perfect. There's even a fund where they've taken up a kitty and it's like up to like $9,000. All the pilots are paying these crew.
The Southwest pilots are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, because they're finally off the Mover and Gonky show in a bad light. They finally made their
it only cost them $9,000.
They have finally been wedged into the good light because they did a great job.
They did a great job.
They did such a great job that Eric Trump tweeted that they should be promoted. And my question was to what? Because they only have
proves
the
that he
one
doesn't understand how the airlines work at all. But appreciate the sentiment. But the super captain
they're stuck
and
on the
super
7-3 forever. Yeah. Oh, but we'll put them in management. That's not the upgrade you think it is.
It's not where they want to go.
Necessarily a promotion.
No. So anyway, let's be serious. Sorry, I'd make jokes because this is a good one. This is a feel-good story.
I have a question about it right off the bat. Has anybody seen a different camera angle? Because it's obviously close, but like, did anybody do the nerd out of like how close laterally they got? Because like from that angle, it looks very close. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not close, but
see, they touched. They touched down. They got close enough that they were on the runway, and that's a bad thing.
Sure. No, I'm not saying it to belittle what they did. I think what they did was fantastic. They handled it right. I guess I was just like, how far down the runway did they touch?
Yeah, you've been to Midway probably many times, right?
Oh yeah.
It's they're shorter runways. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's closer 5,000 feet.
Do we have the audio
video
from VAS?
Yeah, Doug,
the audio.
You pull up the audio because you can hear the whole flex. We can.
I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear me chuckle.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it ready. Do something else while I find it. Yep.
Yeah,
dude. Talk about other things.
I mean, we've talked about Midway before, but I've
never been. Have you been there?
Yeah, yeah, dude. There's like the runways are like this, and they're all short.
Yeah.
And to get anywhere, there's like you just take a big red pen and circle the whole field as a hot spot. Like it is, 100%. Like it's probably the most stressful ground ops that I've done because literally you're crossing, and it's a Southwest base, right? So like, I mean, the comms is crazy.
Right.
And
everybody's taxiing at 69 knots.
Yes,
exactly.
Dude. Yeah, it's not.
No, it is. It's one of my few that when I brief it, I tell guys, I'm like, you can't push back off a gate here without crossing 3 runways. Like it's 100%. Like Boston's the same way. LaGuardia feels that way sometimes. So it is a challenging taxi.
And all the runways are short.
Is that where the Southwest went off into the?
Yes,
because it's short runways.
Yeah. Parked in a gas station in the winter.
Well, let's not throw stones at Southwest. I mean,
Southwest is doing great.
They're
Halo right now. No horns, Halo.
The airline industry needed Southwest to execute that go around.
They did.
They really, truly did.
Yes,
we needed a win.
We'll get there eventually.
This is very timely. Very timely. Here we go.
We probably don't need it in 4K if that'll help.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
okay, I'm not hearing anything.
Doesn't seem to be doing any audio. Wait, maybe not.
See all the runways, mover?
Jet 560 signature with Tango tag.
Here we go.
And he's not.
Make it huge.
Flexion 560, runway, actually departure frequency is 119.35. Runway 22 left. What taxi are you coming out of?
Oh,
And we're over at Whiskey, Flexjet 560. Jet 560, roger, taxi via Foxtrot and hold short runway 22 right. Plan for runway 22 left. All right, plan for 22 left, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Flexjet 560.
Which doesn't make any sense because you can't do.
Hey, Ground, Flexjet 560. Just want to confirm our taxi instructions for 22 left from Signature. Yeah, where on the ramp are you, sir?
Bingo. Like
We're
soup sandwich from the start.
at Alpha taxi. Okay. Taxi Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short at 22 right. Alpha Fox, hold short, T2 right, Flexjet 560.
Yeah.
Flexjet 560, turn left on runway 4 left, cross runway 31 left.
Okay, so now we flipped the runway designation. So now we're not 22 or 4.
4 left, cross 22.
That is, I did hear that the first time, and that's not easy.
Flexjet 560.
No, usually they stick with one or the other.
Cross runway 31 left. Hold
and
short,
he
runway
botched
31
it
center.
too because he's like 1-3.
Cross 31 left, hold short, 31 center, Flexjet 560.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Yeah, so you should have stopped.
Southwest 2504 going around.
2504,
roger that, maintain 3000.
So they got pretty close.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
If he'd have landed, that's
3000. Flexjet 560, hold your position there. Hold position, Flexjet 560. Flexjet 560, continue across the hold short a hotel. Across the hold short,
do they
hotel,
have?
Flexjet
They don't.
560.
I mean, there's no hold short lines on a runway, so there's no way to really know.
When able, turn left heading 220.
I do like this Southwest call.
Left heading
How'd that happen?
20, Southwest 2504. Flexjet 560, your instructions are to hold short of runway 31 center.
Crickets.
This is an internal discussion. No, there's discussions happening internally.
2504, climbing 3000, contact Chicago approach 128.2. 128.2, Southwest 2504. Flexjet 560, possible pilot deviation. Advise you contact Midway Tower at a number when you're ready to copy. Flexjet 560, ready to go.
And they haven't even taken off yet.
773.
Okay, we're done with that. Thank you, Douglas.
Yeah.
Do we have any further analysis to give to this situation?
Go ahead.
Bravo to Southwest. First of all.
Yep.
You don't know what's going on in that flex jet. I don't know 100% who they are, what they're doing, is there training going on, all that. But right now, in my opinion, in the aviation industry, the emphasis is on us, captains and FOs, to be at our best. That's what the public, because the eyes are on it, right? I mean, until something else happens, the eyes are on us as aviation. That's just what it is. And anytime you're doing something out of the norm, whether it's irregular ops, whether it's an airport you're not comfortable with, I mean, that's what the briefs are for. That's what the overemphasis, that's where the stop joking around, stop having a good time, like lock it up and let's do it right. So I don't know. I mean, I want to believe that there's extenuating circumstances inside that flex jet, that they're, maybe they're doing training, something like that. But at least from the videos I've seen, pure speculation, it doesn't look like they ever know that the Southwest was there. Like there wasn't like they crossed and then sped up like, oh, that's my bad. You know what I mean? There was no emphasis, at least from the videos I've seen, to like, hey, we made a mistake. Let's jet across this runway as quick as we can because we know we earned it. So I don't know. But I mean, the big thing is bravo to Southwest, in my opinion, because they did their job. They executed it flawlessly. And everybody on that plane and the other plane thanks them, and in aviation thanks them. So,
well, yeah, Flex Jet guys made a mistake, but I mean, like Mover pointed out, I mean, they, ATC didn't help them out by flipping the runways around, and it's obvious to me that because I've been there, the Flex Jet crew seemed probably a little unfamiliar with the field, which I know exactly how they feel, and I'm not making an excuse. Southwest guys did they prevented an accident there, no doubt. I know it's in my habit pattern. I was taught, even like as a private pilot, anytime you're crossing a runway, clear both sides. And I got that from my GA days, because when you're flying little Cessnas in the backcountry of Ohio, it's a dealer's choice on which way people are landing, right? I mean, and some people don't even make radio calls, right? So I've had little strips there in Ohio when I used to be a CFI. Cessna landing opposite direction, and you just look and you're like, holy cow, here comes somebody. We're not even using, the winds aren't even favoring that way. So, and I know a lot of the captains I fly with too, where I'm at, if you cross the runway, all the lights come on and you both verbally and visually check approach and departure on both sides. So you're probably right, Wombat. Maybe they're doing some training. I mean, I know guys who fly for FlexJet, and they're, they come from backgrounds like the three of us, so they're professional aviators. And
I'm not, it's screwed up. It's something any one of us could do. You could tell, and I'm not saying I'm immune to this, because let's be honest, you both know that I'm not, but you could tell their situational awareness was low from the first radio call. Because ATC had to call them back and say, wait, where are you? So it's like, and you look for these little clues, right? And I mean, we call it the hair on the back of your neck, your gut, whatever it is, but you look for these little clues. And, sometimes in aviation, that's why having two pilots is great. But sometimes in aviation, it's one guy being like, wait, something doesn't feel right. Hold on. Yeah. Right. And
well,
but I'm happy that it worked out.
Yep. And it's not like isolated to FlexJet.
No.
Because there have been,
it's not the first time,
wide body airliners. There have been narrow body airliners. It's happened. I've seen it. Not personally, but I've seen it in training, because they brief it. They're like, hey, this just happened. Now we have to, if you're caught on your phone because this idiot was doing this on, some distraction or something. Not saying that that's what happened here. I'm just saying these things happen, and luckily the errors are trapped. Wombat, I wanted to ask, or maybe Gonky, usually we practice go-arounds. I don't know that I've practiced a go-around at that late game. I mean, I practiced the rejected landing, but an actual go-around in the flare, dude, that's pretty high speed.
So I could speak to my former life when I actually was somebody. Every time at our airline, an Airbus pilot comes back for recurrent, they're going to do a below 50-foot go-around. And specifically because of the flight control logic in the Airbus, it's transitioning from normal law to a whole different thing that's boring to most people. But if you go around in an Airbus below 50 feet, it's going to take a heck of a lot more backstick pressure. So every CQ, every training, we would have them do it. So, and I can, again, talk to that like I talked 2 weeks ago about my wind shear down low years ago. It is. I mean, it takes a lot. And, it's this weird gray area that you're in, because you're likely startled, right? So you don't want to just stick in the lap, because you don't want to strike the tail. But it also takes more than normal. So what we would see typically during the training, at least in the simulator, is guys would do kind of the Blue Angel Thunderbird flyby, because they would do the normals, the like you had in the Viper and in the Hornet too, but talking offset stick, the normal amount of pull that they're used to. And, I know Gonky's done this training too, but it takes more. And they would basically just level themselves out until you brought it up like, hey, look at your flight directors. And it's like, oh, damn. So it is something on an Airbus fleet, at least at our airline. It looks like from Gonky's, but it's at his too, where we emphasize it, because it's such a difference. Now in a 7.3, I assume it feels the same, but I'm on it.
I mean, I don't remember it being 50 feet, right? We've done the rejected landing, because that's where you got to do the flaps thing and all that stuff and reconfigure. That's a whole thing. But go arounds where you actually touch, I don't remember doing that. But
well, we don't
say we did.
We don't necessarily do it to where they touch, but we
like
do
in the flare like this is what like.
I mean, well, in an Airbus below 50 feet is essentially the flare.
Right.
So whether you touch or not.
We do the same thing, man. I mean, usually, but it's usually not, an airplane like almost always like you're about to touch down and you see a truck. Like
bus full of nuns, right? It's the proverbial bus full of nuns.
Exactly.
They're always out there on the airfield.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, Wombat. I mean, I'm like a trained monkey, dude. I just go straight to the flight director and
you have to.
I just fly my line because that's all I know how to do.
It's safe. I mean, it's safe.
HUD cripple.
We don't have a HUD. It's just I just follow this thing around, dude.
It's a internal ILS cripple.
But the thing where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, kudos. I'm sure there'll be lessons learned. The beauty of it is everybody involved in that scenario can learn something from it and get better. Which is
well, it's a runway incursion incident, and that's the worst aviation accident in history was a runway incursion.
Tenerife.
Yeah, 2 747s right on the runway at the same time, which is not good. So it's not the first time, and
no,
unfortunately, I mean, hopefully vigilance will prevent further incidents like this one has, but I mean, it does happen.
Yeah. Renee would like to know, dumb passenger question, how do you take back off without running into another jet's flight pattern?
Very carefully.
They're sequenced.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sequenced nose to tail.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tom says it was the best touch and go I've ever seen. Full credit to that.
It was good.
It was a good one.
It was smooth, man. I was like, if you got rid of the flex jet, I was like, oh, they're just doing a low approach practice.
Little touch, you guessed it. It was nice. Yeah. It was nice.
All right. Couple from the audience before we move on. Thanks for the entertainment and flight news. Any chances of another Mover Ruins movies? I got to get off my butt. It's just a pain.
I asked him today for you.
Yeah, it was just a pain. It's a lot.
It is a lot of work.
I've been trying to get Wombat to do one with me, but
what are you talking about? We did one. What one do you want to do
now? All the Airbus movies.
We did
7,500.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Then perfect. It's the first look.
That's fine.
Wayne says for Wombat, Gonky, and Doug for Movers Race Machine from a MH-53 Pavlo crew chief.
Nice.
Thanks for everything. Love all of you. Tailwinds and clear skies. Thanks Wayne.
Pavlo crew chief. That's a hard individual right there.
Yeah. Theo would like to know how much to name the race car.
Twice as much as it would take to sponsor.
Hey, Theo, everything has a price.
That's true. Everything's for sale.
Well, I just want to thank the number 5 Fighting Falcon machine. It was out there today ripping.
Wombat for now, number 5 Fighting Falcon.
Put Doug Masters on the side of the door too.
Yeah, on the back instead of Johnny 5, it just says Chappie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. I love
it. Laura B watching Twitch says, I want a bumper sticker that says the Moving or Gonky show. This ain't news.
Or nothing, dude. I've been in the panhandle too long, man.
You have.
MJ says, will you guys be discussing TCAS spoofing a DCA today? Vast Aviation's video. Love Wombat sense of humor missing Gonky's Jennifer Lopez glasses. And then
on the list. Yeah.
Wes says, love last week's show with Juan. Proudly donated to Wake for Warriors.
Awesome.
And then finally, Josh says, what's the difference between a side stick and a center stick plane? Do airliners use side stick? Airby.
Correct.
Airby aircraft do.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Love it.
The other ones use the yoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're sawing logs.
Yeah. No thanks. It's too much work.
Okay.
Work hours in my day. Good.
Speaking of bad news. Well, good news, bad news.
Good news.
Federalis Espresso.
Yeah.
FedEx had a 767 something foreign object debris, potentially. They said birds. This is not there's actually a video of it that's not 4 seconds.
Yeah, we got them both. We should. There we go.
Nice. She's burning.
So this is interesting because usually, you get a fire, pulling handles will put it out, right? Because when you pull the fire handles, it'll disconnect essentially your hydraulics, your fuel,
everything.
And then you've got fire bottles that if it's in the right spot, it'll discharge and put the fire out. But this did not stop. Doug, there's a video of it, whatever it is, hitting the
really?
puff of black smoke. Yeah.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure we've got one. I'll look for it.
I think we had some. Didn't we get some pictures of that?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's some pictures that just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so if you and there's also audio. The Vast Aviation guys did some audio. So Doug, no hurry, no pressure or anything.
I've got the Vast Aviation. You want the audio?
Yeah.
That was on takeoff, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
They did a
Yes.
no time.
It was a takeoff
Right
and
back
a
around.
early return.
Where are they going? Because they gotta be heavy. Like heavy.
Yeah.
Indianapolis. Newark to
Okay.
Indy.
Maybe not that heavy. So I just see big plane and I assume they're all massively overweight.
That is a thing.
3609 heavy contact departure. Good day. FedEx 3609 heavy switching. So long. Come on, Tower United 2014 coming up to get Tower. We're staying with you. River Vision. I mean, FedEx 3609.
Oh, wow.
FedEx 3609. Go ahead.
There it is. That's all the videos, Doug. You don't have to. Great
FedEx
job.
3609 just had a bird. We're declaring emergency. Returning to airfield. FedEx 3609, Reg. Contact departure 2855. I'll let them know. Guys, 872. Cancel landing clearance. Turn left. Turn left and climb. Turn left and climb, Jazz. 872.
Beautiful.
Spirit 341 needs to get off the runway.
The tower guys can see this thing on fire
341, make 2 left turns
I
off the
can
runway.
imagine,
because he's still in the pattern.
I'm sorry, right turn Mike, right turn Papa Short of Whiskey. Mike, Papa Short, Spirit 341. Jazz 872, fly heading 220, maintain 3000. Heading 220, 3000, Jazz.
That's just, you got to realize you got a train of aircraft that they have to deal with now.
3609, yeah, we're right engine shut down for possible purge strike. We need to return back to the airport. 3609, have you called
And it's
departure
still burning.
on 2855? We'll switch to them, then we'll be back in a minute.
Is Newark?
Tower Square Wings,
Yep.
210 on the stadium visual 29.
I'm going there in 2 days.
United 2014, cancel landing clearance, fly southbound 220, fly 220, and climb and maintain 3000. Heading 220, climb, maintain 3000, cancel landing clearance, United 2014.
All these guys are doing go-arounds.
341, we believe we saw their engine fall off the right wing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not exactly, but
FedEx, I'm sorry, Spirit Wings 210, Newark Tower, you on? Yeah, we checked in stadium visual tonight. Spirit Wings 210, cancel your landing, I'm sorry, cancel your approach clearance, turn right heading 290, climb and maintain 3000. 290 up to 3000, Spirit Wings 210.
but that is a checklist: severe engine damage, uncontained. Or
Guys, 872, contact
missing.
departure 12855.
Falls off.
12855, Jazz 872. Yeah, 2014, contact departure
You have indications of
12855.
that because it stops
12855, good day,
indicating
United
things.
2014. Spirit Wings 210, expedite your climb to 3000, please. We're expediting Spirit Wings 210.
I mean, luckily that did not
Spirit Wings
happen.
210,
'Cause,
contact departure 12855.
yeah, it's got to go land in somebody's yard.
Spirit Wings 210. And you're at 785 and Spirit 341, you might as well shut down. We might be a couple minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
make sure you tell the right people that.
Yeah.
Tower, car 99.
Right.
Car 99 Tower. 99, only 222 left. Up 4, need to do inspection. Car 99, proceed onto runway 22 left. The subject aircraft is on the 10-mile final. Not after 22 left from
And that's a FOD check, right? That's what they're doing.
Yeah, we're trying to see if,
heading 180 if able, give me the
guess-
souls on board. Hey, 180 heading, 3 souls on board and
3?
plenty of fuel.
Jump seater.
FedEx
yeah,
3609
going to work.
Probably.
180.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm
that's
pretty
good.
sure he hit it on the ascent, not on the runway. Alright, copy that, thanks.
Still,
Yeah, he was about 400
protocol.
feet, and then something came off the engine, probably about 500-600 feet, fell to the ground.
Oh, wow.
What
Yeah, I
if it
think
was-
he had a bird strike. He lost the right engine.
Might have been the UAP that fell to the
3609
ground.
emergency, still indicating
Aliens.
right engine fire, 22 left.
So they've popped bottles by now.
Heavy Newark
Oh,
Tower,
yeah, those bottles
Dude, that sense of urgency has gone way up.
Stop you on the runway, 3609 heavy.
Yeah, that is.
Tower 99's off 22 left, nothing found.
FedEx 3609 Heavy, clear to land, runway 22 left, wind 2205. Will you be evacuating?
Too many questions.
Yeah.
FedEx 3609, no visible fire. It appears no visible fire or smoke coming from the right engine.
That's a lie. We just saw the picture.
On the runway, FedEx 3609.
The vantage point, man.
No,
Yeah, depending on where
back.
tower is.
Because
they're moving at a good
heavy,
clip. It's
disregard
not-
my last. It does appear you're the right engine.
There it goes.
Is emitting fire.
Yeah. Oops.
It's an afterburner.
Yeah.
FedEx 3609 Heavy, copy my last.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Trying to land this
All right,
thing.
go ahead, 3609 Heavy.
Stop telling me
3609,
things.
it does appear that there is smoke and fire from the right engine now.
But the trucks are
Copy.
there, which is good.
Yeah, that's good, dude. That's awesome.
Dude, they stopped right next to the trucks.
Yeah.
They're in the
FedEx
right spot.
3609
Good job,
Heavy,
fire
stopping
guys.
on the runway.
That's all me sounds. That's awesome.
Tower 22 left is closed.
But yeah, now that you're on the runway, it's time to
Roger,
really
22
sound
left
cool
close.
because you're like,
FedEx 3609, parking brake set. We're running checklist, listening on frequency.
And Towers, fire chief on the radio here.
Yes, sir, he's listening. All we see is smoke coming from the affected area now.
Okay, fire chief, this is FedEx 3609.
FedEx from rescue. Did you blow bottles?
Yes, we blew both bottles on the right engine, and we had a fire indication all the way down until
Wow.
landing.
That
That's
affirmative
scary.
you still do. We're gonna
I love the Northeast,
put some
man.
water on it.
Okay, would you recommend that we get out, or?
And
Tower, this is FedEx 3609. Great work, guys.
Thank you. You guys okay?
Right now, we're standing by.
Yeah.
We
Getting a little warm in
struck
here,
the
but-
birds, starting that left turn, just passing 500 feet, so probably about 800 feet is when the birds took the right engine.
Okay, Roger. Thank you.
so it was birds.
I don't know,
Now-
man. We got those pictures.
Yeah, the pictures, and somebody was saying, and I just saw it before I came on, so breaking speculation. They said the other engine didn't look great either.
Oh God,
Like
really?
there was damage to the other engine too.
Really?
It caught on
Oh, my
fire.
God.
Yeah, I saw that posted
God,
somewhere
that
on
could have
Twitter.
been.
I know. So, my thoughts, since you haven't asked yet, are one, kudos to the FedEx crew. Obviously, they handled it calm, cool, and I don't know if the people that are listening understand this, but uncontrolled fire in a non-ejection seat aircraft
Oh yeah.
sucks. Like that is something, because I mean, you have the
Just
literally,
waiting.
you have the rest of your life to figure it out, essentially. And if that thing's going to burn through a wing spar or something, and then so the added level of stress when you blow bottles and the light doesn't go out. Good on, in my opinion, the FedEx crew for not rushing it and screwing something up, right? Because that's the tendency you see. Number one. Number two, I think it was Jazz. Great job.
not working.
Spirit, who made the call that was like, hey, we need to get off this runway, because I assume they were waiting to take off. Nice situational awareness there. And then that tower guy, I mean, he did great. I mean, he was certainly trying to help, but that's not a small airspace. That's a very busy airspace.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a congested airspace with a lot of things going wrong real fast. And air traffic control, the crew of FedEx and the other crews around there, and the fire crews and all that on the ground, fantastic. I mean, slow clap again.
It's pretty much textbook.
Yeah. I mean, really, like, so,
Wow. Good for them.
again,
Right.
just like I said with the Southwest, it's like aviation's under a microscope, and we needed the win, and those guys, girls, everybody handled it. So,
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Mm.
Quick from the audience. Chance says, Wombat, thanks for the Wake for Warriors shout out.
absolutely, brother, absolutely.
Jason says, dumb question. Does toga button still work after the jet detects weight on wheels? Let's take off, go around.
Yeah, so I'd assume you'd have to speak mover on the 7.3 side. I mean, for an Airbus, I can say that toga's always toga. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of the plane. Like, we don't have to do anything fancy in an Airbus. You just fire a wallet So
there's various levels of what happens when you hit the button, like whether it
in a
deletes
7.3, right?
Yeah, like if you hit it twice, it just deletes everything, and you're rocket ship to the moon.
Walk for the ride.
It's like, oh, you want that? Yes, here you go.
Yeah,
this
really,
is
really
your paddle switch. Let me.
So you actually have to hit buttons in a 7.3.
Yeah, because the toga's on the throttle.
Like I don't know how you feel, Gonky. To me, the toga on an Airbus is like a Hornet. Like it's just like,
yeah,
I'll take it all now, please. Like
it's like
I don't want to mess around
without the burner.
Hannah with Snoopy says, "Love your show. Thank you for making me smile on Mondays."
Thanks, Hannah.
This ain't the news or nothing, Hannah.
Probably gonna be our best seller on a shirt mover.
Tri-Continental or Nokia tires, dude. Nokia tires would be indestructible.
They would be.
That's like the world's greatest phone. Gonky still has one.
He does. It's not even flip phone. It's pre-flip phone.
It's open all the time, man.
It's open all the time.
Well, all right. So this is a good segue, right? We're talking about good job for the pilots. However, what's come out is that what you have, Doug? So our transportation secretary, Duffy, says pilots whose errors result in incidents should have their certificates pulled. And do we have the quote? Posted on X, it is imperative that pilots follow the instructions of air traffic controllers. If they do not, their licenses will be pulled. And then he was asked by NBC Nightly News if it was his position. He replied, "Hell yes," accompanied by a gesture mimicking an umpire ejecting a player from a ball game. Transportation Secretary Duffy's comments about pulling a pilot's license if they don't follow ATC instructions ignores the importance of due process and the wide spectrum of scenarios where an alternative remedy would be more appropriate in our collective pursuit of safety. And then he said, "We look forward to working with Duffy." AOPA President Darren plays on. And so this is what happens, right? A lot of bad things happen in the news, and leaders step up and say, well, we're going to crack down. And maybe don't always get the whole picture of what's going on or the negative implications of making blanket statements like that. On the one hand, mover's opinion, it's valid to say, well, if you don't follow the instructions, like surface value, right? You don't follow ATC instructions, you're out. You're going to lose your license, which that's what's called pilot intentional noncompliance. Typically, is if you do something, you're not protected. We have systems in place that'll protect us if we make mistakes. If you do something that's egregious or a definite violation of some federal regulation, yeah, you're going to lose your license. But when you kind of peel back the onion, the concern with statements like that is that you kind of lose some of your safety culture, right? Because the idea, at least in U.S. aviation, we don't put people in jail when they are involved in a crash. We don't pull certificates for simple one-time mistakes. Is that if you start saying we're going to take enforcement action for everything or for stuff that may not rise to the level of pilot intentional noncompliance, you lose people, one, fessing up, two, having that safety culture within these companies. That is what allows us to learn and get better. And then finally, it stops people from, it makes people second guess themselves instead of making sometimes the right decision and, okay, I'm going to deal with that, but I made the right decision because I am pilot in command. Because captain's authority on these airliners, sometimes you have to do what saves the aircraft and what you think is best as the captain, which I'm sure Wombat's about to tee up here in a minute. If you are that pilot in command, the aircraft commander, that's your responsibility to keep the aircraft safe. And sometimes that means exercising that authority and not doing what ATC says. Wombat, go with your data.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I mean, every time I go to work and I sit down the plane, like I will gladly turn in my certificate if I could walk away from a plane and my passengers are safe at the end of the day. I love the job. I love flying, but if you put me in a situation where it's, hey, you can keep flying and you have your license or people can get hurt in the back, I'm going to keep people safe. I don't care. Like I'll go I'll go start a YouTube channel on the side or something to, you know, to offset. So I don't disagree at that point. I will say that he has since backpedaled a little bit from this statement, and ALPA has come out with an email regarding that conversation. So when I first saw this, I certainly was a little bit concerned. Like I think most people in aviation, you know, they were like, easy, careful, because of everything Mover said. But I do know that the unions have talked to him and kind of, as somebody who gets taken out of context quite a bit, I can appreciate that, you know, I don't think he ever had the intention of, we're going to throw pilots in jail and yank their certs if they do, and if they make mistakes. I don't think that was it. It just came across wrong. And then again, in the same world where one joke means I hate Canada, which is not the truth, people jump on it and it became a news story and all that. So luckily, I don't think that was his intent. I know he has come out and has talked to our unions and said that, hey, that's not what I meant. And there are, like Mover said, there are protocols in there. And if your pilot goes up and does something blatantly unsafe, they're not going to get protected. Not before this statement and not after the statement. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know. So the safety culture is there, and we do have the ability to make errors and fess up on them and learn from them and be trained, and everybody gets better. That's how it should be. But if they do something just woefully negligent, and people they're done. They're going to lose their certifications. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So I think luckily, I think this whole story has gone in the direction that I was hoping it would go, which is cooler heads have prevailed, and we don't have pilots on edge. I hope. That's my
Gonky, what do you think, Mr. Beard?
I mean, I understand why he said what he said. I mean, you know, the transportation secretary that embodies a lot of different types of transportation, right? Truck driving, flying airplanes, which may or may not be the same, driving trains, all that stuff.
Truck masters, right?
Truck masters, yeah. However, you know, he's not a pilot, so he doesn't know. So I get it. He said what he said to try to, you know, calm down the public a little bit in light of what's been happening. Like you said, Mover, poor choice of words, and, you know, just kind of the way the system works, right? Wombat, kind of like you said, you know, the people who were in the know, right, your union leadership and stuff, probably wrote letters like, hey man, this is actually how it works. Because, you know, the nice thing about aviation, at least here in the US, is we have the means to self-report a lot, you know, when we make mistakes, so we can all learn. And if you come down with a hammer, it's like, you make one mistake and we're yanking your certificate. It's like, dude, all the self-reporting stops, all of the learning stops, right? And then it's CYA time, right? I mean, backstabbing. I mean, it becomes terrible, right? So
the culture changes completely.
Big time. Yeah, exactly. So, and you know, a second thing is, ATC makes mistakes just like pilots do, right? So when ATC tells me something, I comply, but I always question what they just told me. You know, hey, they told me, because me and Shady coming back in 2 Hornets from San Diego after doing the Red Bull Air races, the flyover for it, ATC clears us down to whatever altitude. As soon as we level off, I am to the east, Shady's to the west. We're about a half mile apart. We just level off. I'm the flight lead. Shady just starts screaming at me, down, Gonky, down, down. And he just knows, and I'm trying to match him, and I can't. I got the stick forward. My knees are floating into the top of the canopy. Everything, all the dead bugs are floating, and a King Air right over top of me, man. I could see. I remember thinking, man, those spinners are shiny. That's the one thought that went through my mind. And so I clean the crap out of my seat. We get leveled off, and I'm like, hey, what happened? And the exact words from ATC, my bad. My bad.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm like,
well, I mean, you heard it with the Southwest guy on that video, right? Like, how'd that happen, right? I mean, like, so there's a lot of trust in this job on both sides, and we have to work together, and we do. 99% of the time we do really well. But it's
my story is not a knock on ATC. It is just to prove a point that ATC they're humans, right? We're all a bunch of knuckle draggers in this
for now.
That's true. AI and machines may come in later, but and it's like Gono said it best, it's, I want to be safe because guess what? I'm riding in this sealed can with you.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Right? He's like, I've got skin in the game, right? So the thought that, air crew would, just be malicious as far as, any kind of ATC type guidance or just straight up, no, screw that. It's kind of crazy. So I'm glad, like you said, Wombat, I think he's backpedaled it. Cooler heads have prevailed, but I understand what he said. It was just poor. It's just poor timing basically, but I don't think anything's gonna come of it because I truly believe that the self-report, I truly believe in the US, having flown around different parts of the world, I think we really do have a good system here for the ability to learn from each other's mistakes without 100%. too much. I mean, if you're just a total, I mean, you can definitely lose your license by doing dumb stuff,
100%.
100%. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. All right, moving on. I think we've beaten the horse to death. There's nothing from the audience, so we move on to multiple TCAS alerts at KDCA. So obviously,
breaking news
last month, or sorry, now 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. It's about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, dude. It was a while. The unfortunate collision at DCA where the RJ had a TCAS TA and the Blackhawk, we don't think had any indication or any knowledge when they ran into each other. And now recently that same airport's under scrutiny because there have been multiple TCAS alerts at Ronald Reagan International, which are they international? I guess they are.
Yeah.
So what TCAS, the traffic collision alerting system, is a system in an airliner, typically, or any aircraft that takes transponder data at various levels and does the math. It gonculates, if you will, and it decides.
It's scary, actually. We might not want to use that adjective.
It thinks that the aircraft that is near you is a threat based on. It just creates these vectors, and is it going to hit? Is it going to pierce this bubble around my aircraft? And the response based on where you are, what altitude you're at, etc., will either result in a traffic call, which is just a TA, which is an advisory, or it'll be an RA, which is resolution advisory, which will tell you to maneuver your aircraft in such a way. And responding to a TCAS RA is mandatory. So if you get that, it'll pop up on your screen and you will fly whatever, climb, descend, whatever it is, reduce vertical speed, whatever it's telling you to do. And then you're going to write a report when you land. If you're an airline guy, at least at my company, probably all of them, you're going to write something. So it's a big deal. It's something that we take very seriously. TCAS TAs are not mandatory, but they should get your head out looking for, hey, what's about to be, because a lot of times TAs turn into RAs.
Sure.
But so what they've had at DCA is false TCAS alerts, which I think, Doug, you've got some. Is this a video? Yeah, it's that. Dude, we probably should stop with the Vast Aviation.
Thanks, Vast.
They do so great.
Yeah. No, he puts a good product together, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the first one I see whenever something happens. Are they doing the river visual? Is that what they're?
Brickyard 4469 TCAS. Sorry,
19, yeah.
Yeah, 19, yeah.
Brickyard 4469. Would you like to go around?
Negative, we got it.
Nice.
JetBlue 1155. Turn right taxiway. Foxtrot ground point 7. Have a good day.
Foxtrot ground point 7.
Brickyard 4687. Wind 220 at 11. Runway 19er. Clear for takeoff. 19 clear for takeoff. Brickyard 4469. Do you remember how high that was?
And it's a big deal for controllers, too.
About 1200 feet. There was somebody diving straight onto us. Brickyard 4469.
Wow.
Brickyard 4538, preceding arrival, reported a TA, 2 more miles at 1,200 feet. It's been happening all morning. Let me know if you see anything. No one else has seen anything except for on the TCAS.
All right, we'll check it out. We'll let you know.
Brickyard 4538, runway 19er, clear to land, traffic will hold.
Yeah.
Clear left, we got 4530.
Brickyard 4528, runway 19er, line up and wait. Alaska 5, you'll be next. Good morning.
Oh, don't tell them that.
Brickyard 4469, turn right taxiway Foxtrot, ground point 7. Have a good one.
Right on Fox, ground point 7, Brickyard 4469. We actually got an RA. We had to dive to the river.
Oh, wow.
Roger, ground point 7, and if you could repeat it to her so that the chief can write it down. We'll go.
Poor DC.
Yeah, we got a little something there, Brigade 45.
We got a little something there. A little something.
It was 600 feet above us.
Brickyard 452819, clear for takeoff. 4528.
Can you imagine how jumpy everybody
Brickyard
is?
4538, you said how high above you?
It said on the TCAS it was 600 feet above us, and we didn't see anything.
600 feet above, did not see anything visually. Thank you.
Dude, this is the last thing we need.
Street 5197, Washington Tower, runway 19er, clear to land.
19 clear to land, Blue Street 5197.
Blue Street 5197, multiple arrivals are reporting TAs. Not seeing anything out of the windows though, but on the TCAS, about 2 more miles.
Right?
And I don't have the exact altitude.
Well, yeah, all morning.
Yeah, we
right?
got a TCAS, but we don't see anything either. Blue Street 5197.
Do you remember where it was?
Yeah, a little bit before Derek. No altitude on a Blue Street 5197.
Roger, thank you. And you are cleared to land runway 19, Blue Street 5197.
Runway 19, Blue Street 5197.
Ground Brickyard 4469, vacating on Foxtrot for Charlie 27. We got an RA for you to copy whenever
We got a number for you to copy when you're ready.
Roger, Juliet
Say that one day.
Juliet 27, Brickyard 44.
Oh, well, that's our next story, actually. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
And Brickyard 4469, go ahead with the information that you have. This has been a common occurrence all morning.
Hey, from Brickyard 4469, just about over Fonby, 1,200 feet. We got a descending RA. We got out of it about 11.
A descending RA.
Yeah, that's
what they're all saying, right? They're saying it's above them, and they're getting
visibly see anything other than what the TCAS was showing.
That's kind of scary.
Negative. It was just a unknown target descending rapidly.
All right, that's the same sort of reports we've been getting. It just seemed like it had stopped. It sounds like it's starting again. All right, so there was approximately 1,200 feet. You went down to about 1,000. And what was the fix you were over when you said it? I didn't catch it.
We were just over top of the Fonby intersection on the RNAV Zulu one.
Fonby for the RNAV Zulu. Thank you.
Alien.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Confirmed.
Good.
stole my thunder.
All right, Wombat, you have the floor. Tell us about
I'm
these
not
aliens.
saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. I mean,
Is this similar to your experience?
it is. It is.
What
I don't
are
want
they
to
here
say
for?
tic tac, but it's a tic.
Well, dude, so I don't know. Somebody was talking about like some ground disturbance, right? With a TCAS system that's maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Right?
so they can have that where, like, if all reporting systems, if there's a glitch, it could throw things off. The thing that is interesting to me on this one is that it's above, because like I've been places where we get it and it ships, right? So like if you're around military
transponders on the boats,
exactly. So like, and you'll get that. That's not uncommon in military areas, or even like up in Boston, you used to get that.
Yeah.
But above, I'm like, that's weird. So if it was below, I'd be like, okay, there's some military going on down there and they're just doing their thing. And, you know, some PR left the whatever, you know what I mean? Like it was somebody left on their transponder and, you know, whatever. But being above is, that's really, really weird. So thank God everybody handled it properly. It sounds like the weather was okay. Because that's, yeah, a descending TCAS is.
I mean, you're unloading. You're
unloading, and like, you know,
That's
the
low.
ground, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Well, it's inhibited in
Probability of
most
killing.
systems
Well,
at
it
lower
is,
altitudes.
yeah, but I mean, you're diving to get away from it, and then do you have the wherewithal to get back on? You know,
Do some of these drones have ADS-B?
It doesn't matter if it's so. the system uses mode C, mode 3 Charlie, or mode S. Like it's varying levels of fidelity, right? It goes from mode 3 Charlie, which is like, if you ever been around a tanker or an airliner in a fighter, we'll set off their TCAS because we do these Hayaka maneuvers, and the system is basically it's taking the mode 3 positional info or the information, and figuring out in a 3-dimensional space at rate of climb, rate of descent, altitude. And that was going to be my question: is could there be an emitter on the ground that is spoofing this information to make it, you know what I mean? Because it's just information. It doesn't necessarily physically have to be there.
Correct,
but if there's a transmitter on the ground that's sending out something saying I'm at 1,500 feet descending at 2,000 feet a minute, that will, I would guess, set up a TCAS RA the same way, high to low, because the system doesn't. There's no radar, right?
Right.
You're just interrogating information. So off of a signal. And going to that, mode S being now you get better positional information, and then ADSB, now you're in that, GPS and all that stuff as well. So I could see a situation where you had, don't they make handheld ADSB out? ADSB receivers?
I don't know.
I think so.
I could see a situation where you could spoof it. You could spoof the information.
Well, you could spoof anything because it's not physically.
It's just a signal. It's just trons.
Signal.
But
it could have been something that they were doing something else military-wise, which this was a byproduct of too. Right? I mean, you could be doing your own training, spoofing something, and we've seen that.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that there.
Well,
but valid.
That's not really a place.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying, though, Wombat. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're right. You shouldn't be doing it there, but you were also in the military. Did you always do everything exactly where you should have been doing it with the smartest training?
Yes.
No. Well, the Air Force must have been nice because the Navy was not that way. So, the only thing on that, and it sounded like the altitudes were exactly the same on every one of them. Like it was right around the same, plus or minus a few hundred feet of, interpretation from the pilots. So
odds are, man, it's like you said, odds are it's probably interference. But can you just imagine, like,
it could be, dude. We could be looking at nefarious activities.
Well,
from aliens, from foreign actors, from state actors, from anybody that wants another,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, you get a strong RA at 1,000 feet in a. That's
you hope that an ATP PIC goes, okay. Yeah. You know what? But we just had an actual midair collision. So everybody
that whole
is
area
just wanting to not make another mistake like that.
What if it was hard IMC, man? Down to 200.
Well, and again, I'll say it. Kudos to the air traffic controllers giving the heads up to the pilots. Like, hey, we've been hearing this. This is where we hear it. That's you hear when you listen to tower or approach at DC. They are busy. They are busy. That was tower, I believe, that we were listening to, and she was busy. She's trying to get planes out. She's trying to get planes in. So kudos to her. Every call she has to make that's like, hey, by the way, that's getting her out of her script of her timing and how she does things. And so fantastic job there, because I'll tell you, if I'm on the receiving end of that call and I have a heads up that there may be something, at least I'm ready for it. I'm not just getting surprised, so, but
yeah, I don't know. This is one of those where you don't want to cry wolf, because then you start getting numb to these things. And that's another issue where
100%. Yeah.
Now we're like, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Sets in real quick.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you get a TA. Those guys got a TA, right before the collision, right? So you definitely don't want to.
Yeah. They got a TA, not an RA, a TA.
No, a TA, exactly.
Which is crazy that it never went to an RA. But
well, it's probably
it was inhibited below 1,200 feet or whatever.
But some of these guys, because that video goes on, there's a lot of people some of them are TAs, some are RAs. So
probably lower altitude guys are getting TAs.
TAs because it's inhibited.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
All right. Well,
Avoid,
negotiate, kill.
That's a shameless plug, Mover.
Mark Meppy Man says this could happen if there's an issue with the SSR ground station. It's not the first time.
There you go.
What is an SSR?
I don't know, but it sounds, dude. Listen, with
that
confidence,
like
I trust him.
Is that the ADSB TIS system?
Dude, I don't know.
This episode brought to you by Vass Aviation. Thank you.
Thank you, Vass.
Please don't come after Gonky.
Yeah.
I'm too poor to buy a super chat. I'm just driving. Another comment here on Vass Aviation said it was an ADSB system that had ownership permission filtering problems. Can somebody ask about that?
Ownership permission.
Dude,
that's much higher resolution
Yes.
than
Yeah.
I know. So
My training is on off, right?
could be.
Stand by. Stand by.
Stand by. Yeah, that's right.
Auto.
All right.
There's an auto.
Doug, we're doing the Moxie one next. I flipped that around.
Ready when you are.
You got it? Okay. Oh, no. Hit the
No, it
button.
still says so.
All right.
Oh,
Story of my life.
Oh.
Here we go. So, you want to cringe? Because I like a good cringe story.
This is good.
Play the tape.
You know what, dude? Hey, you got to try.
Can I
I'm
mute
glad
the
you
tape?
asked. It is smooth. Hey, New York, Moxie 516. Yeah, what's up? Hey there. Do you know if there's any chance a shortcut direct like Xander? Yeah, give me a second. Moxie 516, go direct to Wichita. Clear direct to Wichita. Moxie 516, thank you. Moxie 516, Cleveland Center 132.1200. Cleveland Center 132.12, Moxie 516. In New York, Moxie 516. Yeah. Hey there. I pull you up on my number 2 radio, and I was like, hey, is it inappropriate to ask for a controller's number?
Yes.
Wait, say it one more time? Moxie 516. Do you want to send me a text sometime?
Oh, dude.
Whoa. Sir, I'm married. No, so sweetheart, I'm not interested like that, but figured you had a personality. It's kind of rare. Oh, well, thank you. Serious? Wow. Cuties. What has happened tonight? I don't know. I guess I was a little too nice about that. Don't be too nice. I know. On behalf of all pilots, I'd like to apologize.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
You're not
Yes.
helping, buddy.
Moxie 516 has 34. Moxie 5.
All right.
I was so like if there is a competition for cringeworthy, it's either that or follow me along in a day of the life of an airline pilot while I get dressed in my hotel room. Like those
While I
are
get
the
my
two.
clearance, I'm going to record myself getting my clearance manually.
Like
so,
I mean, it's like
well, hold on. Let's set this up because we need to explain a couple things of what this is Breeze Airways, by the way. What they did. So they were talking to the controller, right? And I guess she was nice because she gave him a shortcut. And then they switch frequencies. So they're, we do handoffs between sectors. They switch frequencies. And usually on the number 1 radio, you're talking to, whoever you're talking to. Number 2 radio is usually guard, which, the hat Nazis love to be like meow and you're on guard and all that stuff. He takes the number 2 radio, goes back to that original frequency. So the captain who had number 2 turned down could not hear. And then goes back and asks this girl, woman, lady, controller person for her number. And then when she says no, he's like, I just liked your personality. I wasn't
I wasn't trying
to sexually.
Yeah, I wasn't hitting on you.
No one has a personality, and you actually sounded like one that had such a personality because you gave me that shortcut. So you got to put it against the mover test. Would mover do something like this? And the answer is no.
No.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, I look at it from a standpoint, if I was that captain and like we land and then all of a sudden I'm getting blown up texts of like, bro, were you on this flight? Like, yeah, why? Like they sent me that, I'd be like, we're done here. Like we're not flying. Like you need to like
get out.
Yeah. Like come on, man.
Squawking 7,500. Give me the escort. We're landing.
Like
That's funny, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
You're married. Tell us about it.
Now, Wombat seen me go down in flames a couple of times when we were younger, and I'm happy that people actually have crashed harder than me. So
that is the ultimate. I mean, and like, I love that he's like, okay, so if you're going to do this, young whippersnappers, and don't is the moral of the story. But if you are, like, if you think somewhere in a career where decision making is actually regarded as something that's very high on our skill set, and somehow you think this is a good decision, when you get shot down, just own it and be like, okay, well,
you're a loss.
I bet he's a really lucky man. You sound like a great woman. Thanks. Have a great night. Don't try to double down and be like, oh, no, not that way. Like, look, I'm a pilot. I obviously was not interested in you that way. Like, what way were you, bro? Come on the show and explain to me exactly what way.
Well, other
than that, she has a cute voice. Obviously, she was polite. Obviously,
how can you tell?
Because she's bubbly and fun, and dude, it's look. I don't sound great on the radio. Yeah. I sound angry on the radio.
Yeah. Are you new? I mean,
there is nobody that is ever going to hear me on a radio and be like, you know what? Well, that seems like a great dude. Like, he seems like somebody I want to take a shot with. Like, they're not going to. They're going to be like, that guy sounds bitter and angry. Like, I get it.
But what about to play devil's? I mean, just to flip the other side of the coin, he's probably sitting there after the captain has told him about the 4th flight attendant he's married and divorced. He's probably thinking, you know what?
It's time.
Instead of hitting on the flight attendants, I am going to try the controllers. It's like, dude,
shot. Because they obviously are not interested in me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they can see my personality. This girl can't see me. So it's just personality. And if I come across nice,
that's
dude,
funny.
What a horrible, like.
Hey, but you know what? Made her day. 100% made her day.
Well, because it's a funny story. Really it's a fun. I hope.
Who cares? It made her day, dude.
When I tell this story, there's no chance she's married. She's just like, get away from me. That's what I think. But she has every right to be that way. I'd love to have her on the show too. But
have you ever come close to a situation like this?
You mean me doing something like this? No, not on the radio like this. No, dude. Have I have cat shot brain? Have I forgotten?
I'm just asking a question because I think
it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Dude.
Look, I've never done this, but I've had an opportunity, I think, where it would have worked out, probably. And I didn't. I chose not to.
Probably a safe bet. You might end up.
Yeah.
A safe bet.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but the Moxie pilot also thought he had an opportunity.
No, listen, dude. I was in a Viper, man. You can do a lot of stuff when you're in an F-16. I'll tell you this story.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's
boy.
Fair.
Buckle up.
So this was, and dude, I was a dumb lieutenant captain or whatever back then, so I was just younger, but same amount of dumb. For the dude, you Air Navy guys don't understand this, but the Air Force, we rarely get jets by ourselves, right? Because and you didn't see this much when you were at the Two Fits Gonky, but for the most part, you're in a gray jet. At least when I flew them, you were always 2-ship, 4-ship doing something. You got to go fly, brief, debrief, and all that stuff. But the one time where I got to go out, everybody else broke, and it was just old mover going out to the entire airspace by myself. My first 1V0, right? And I'm like, I am going to see how fast this jet will go. I got a clean Block 30 big mouth. The world is my oyster. So, check in with the controller. I mean, yeah, it's just Miami. She sounds, I don't know,
Miami-ish.
She sounds like she's from Miami, which can go a lot of different directions. But I check in. I'm like, hey, got the airspace. Cool. And I want to go as fast as this jet will go. So I'm stupid, though, because I don't understand profiles or anything. I'm like, I'm going to go as fast as I can this way and then climb up and go as fast as I can that way. And then that didn't work. So then I'm like, I'm going to bullseye this thing.
Tom Cruise actually did that in Maverick too. He did the turn to get faster.
Yeah. Well, what happens when you bullseye it? You run out of airspeed because you hit the indicated limit before you hit the Mach limit. So I'm doing 800 knots, 1.86 pointed at the water. And, I'm like, I want to get this thing to Mach 2. I can't. It didn't break apart on me. I just bingoed out. And now I'm coming back with my tail between my legs. And as I'm checking out with the airspace, the controller's like, hey, Mako 11. Yeah. What you got? She's like, hey, I got a question for you. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah. She's asking me. I'm like, what can I do for you? Hey, I was just wondering, how fast were you going there? I was like, oh, crap. I've been asked this before because I'd been cross country one time across the Gulf doing 0.99. And they asked me that and they weren't happy about it. So I'm like,
I've been asked that too. We're like, hold on.
What do you mean? She's like, oh, it just looked like you were having fun out there. How fast were you going? I was like, Mach 1.86. And she's like,
no big deal.
oh, that's so cool. That looked fun. And I was like, okay, anyway, switching
right
to Miami approach. Good day. Yeah.
And that is the difference. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I haven't done funny
That's as
things
close
on
as
the
I
radio.
got. Yeah.
Like we had an interaction in the Wallbangers out in Beaver Control that was hilarious in my opinion, and I still
Banger
laugh at.
Beaver.
But
Go on.
Banger Beaver. We got him to say it, and we purposely, my buddy and I purposely ignored radio calls from Beaver Control until they were like, Banger Beaver, and I was like, oh, go ahead, you got my attention. And they were like, you set us up on that one, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, we're children. But that's different than Moxie.
Oh yeah,
like, this is like, dude.
Like, that's as close as you like. You got to be in some single seat jet if you're going to try to pull this off. Like you're not doing it in a fatty or an airliner or even a helicopter. You're doing this in something with an afterburner, and you're probably by yourself because you don't need the passenger behind you helping you out.
No.
Yeah. Even then, though, you are rolling the dice.
Yeah.
But you're on uniform. At least if you're doing it in a fighter,
That's what I was going to say. You're on UHF. Yeah.
Nobody. There's no VAS aviation.
VAS won't be able to catch me on this one.
It's just you're on UHF. Nobody's listening.
You could say dumb stuff.
Hey, approach, go secure. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Have quick. Oh, it's not working. Oh, it never works.
That's
dude.
hilarious.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean,
so true.
I don't know. Hey, good on you, man. You know, if you miss, dude, if you don't take a shot, you're for sure gonna
Mike
miss.
Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
100%. That's right, dude.
But seriously, don't ever do that again. Please don't do that again. Please.
Yeah. Hopefully you've learned your lesson.
Oh, dude.
Because I know you're gonna be sitting next to me on an airliner one day. I could just feel it in my next 20 years. And just please stop.
You know what's worse though? Asking the controller out or meowing? The idiots that are on guard.
Oh no, dude. I'll take the meowing.
I can't stand guard. I love CBDLC, so I can turn guard down because I'm like, well, if they can't talk to us, they're gonna call us.
Yeah, I let the captain listen to it.
Straight to horny jail.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's
Midnight.
hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. Yeah.
Poor form.
Anyway,
Yep.
you know what? It happens. It happens to the best of us.
If it went the other direction, though, we'd all be like,
no, dude. We'd all be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like you went off with just the voice?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I want to. How'd the first date go? The in person. How'd the in person? How'd the great reveal go?
Because what happens if you show up and you're like, oh,
whoops.
Yeah.
I mean, much like me. What if they have a face for radio?
Every cop knows this. Every cop, every firefighter, every pilot should know this.
Oh yeah.
Well,
you can't go. You gotta have two discriminators. You can't just go off of one. You can't just say, oh, the voice. You got to go off of more than just the voice. Just
it's like, when we talked to the tanker.
Oh yeah.
It's like, when it was one of the girls talking, we'd always have a discussion. It's like, it's like, she sounds really pretty. It's like,
yeah.
Well, you could make the same argument, Gonky, for the flight deck crews.
You could.
You don't hear them. You just see. And I know you're, golden
bubbles
retriever,
in the
but
back.
I guarantee you, I'm
like this up there, man. I'm 100% on my pilot monitoring or pilot flying taskers, and I am like
when you were on the flight deck on the carrier, I guarantee you pulled your refueling probe out at least once to be funny. I promise you did. You did the probe trick. I know you did.
Well, I used to do the probe trick to get a couple more 100 pounds of gas. That's actually why you did it.
No.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, dude.
We're gonna get canceled.
100%.
Yeah, that was my favorite. And when the air boss comes up and he tells the whole fighter row, knock it off, and everybody's like, yeah, I haven't seen precision like that since the Blue Angels with all the refueling probes going in at the same time.
So to speak. Elias says, have you guys seen the 2-seater 35 that South Korea put together? Don't they call it like the KF-21?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
It's the only 2-seat 5th gen, right?
5th gen. Irene would like to say that it's unprofessional but funny.
Valid. Yes, but sometimes a good laugh is required when you're professional.
You know, I feel like you needed more of a connection. You know,
than just hey,
Luger's not letting this go.
He's shortcut. Like you needed, like
this is therapeutic. This is therapeutic for Luger, the single man.
Yeah, where'd you grow up? You know, what kind of stuff? What's your favorite color?
Wait a minute.
You know,
what man wants small talk, dude? Let's just get.
You got to do the work.
Luger's a romantic.
You have to do the. You have to do the work, man. You can't just jump right into it. You got to like, hey, you know, what do you like?
You sound like my wife now, dude. She's like, why don't you talk to me? I'm like,
Mover wants to cuddle. That's all there is.
Mover wants to cuddle.
We got to air cuddle, man. We can't.
Mover wants to. Like, he wants a real deep connection.
I want to. You know what? I'm getting older now, and it's not just about what's on the surface. I need to know that there's going to be more.
Well, like he said, it's like
I don't.
Like
I need to know more than just she gives me shortcuts. I need to know.
I mean, that is a plus.
I mean, shortcuts are fun. No, everybody likes shortcuts.
Yeah.
But sometimes I want to deviate.
Yeah.
Right or left.
That's true.
My
choice. Wants to know, are you vested in the retirement plan there?
Yeah.
At the,
like, can I quit this job of me talking to you from this?
Yeah, to talk to you at home. To talk to you at home.
Can I be
and what is your pension like?
Doggy dad while you go get hit on by Moxie?
Yeah.
I want to know these things.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Anyway,
so back to professionalism in aviation.
93 Navman says, during my retirement ceremony, this Sky Palace happened. Fun fact, my MC was the MMCPO, and getting blown up on his phone, my civilian friends thought it was done for me.
Perfect.
Nice.
You could have saved their career, man. You should have called me like, no, I totally put them up to it.
Dude, they were just doing fighter cap.
I know.
93 Navman also says, I whispered in my MC's ear at my retirement, all good, bro. He says, no, not good. I asked, CEO getting fired? He said, probably, but he can handle it.
It happens.
Wicked Spider Black says, this subject, you ask Mace how many stories she has.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I bet she has tons.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably annoying.
But dude, so I that would probably be more valid, right?
If Mace asked for the number?
No, like if they were they were asking Mace, because you're like Thunderbird, probably in shape.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
getting more
famous
discriminators.
Yes.
But I mean, she's, you know, there's only like, right. I mean, you can go to the website. Like, oh, there's one
website.
No, not I mean, like the Thunderbird.
So the deep intel is this air traffic controller doesn't have a website, Gonky? Is that what you're telling us?
You know how you can go? You know how you can go?
His women on the internet. That's what happens.
No, so like you can go and
backpedal out of this, bro. Go ahead. Backpedal.
You can go. The Air Force has a Thunderbird website. You can meet the team, right? The boss.
Oh, you want to meet
leader.
The team, huh? How do you spell that?
But what? But you're twisting my words, man. All I'm saying is it's their demonstration team, and you can meet. So for they would know what she looks like, and they would know things about her through that. Is all I'm saying. Oh, dude.
Moving on. None of this went well at all. This is not going to be in the clips.
No, we're about as cringy as he is.
We don't have any clips today. Corey says, great show as always, y'all. Tomcats.
Love it.
Oh, man.
Thanks, man.
Storm Chasing Ma says, great show tonight, guys. Got to look at the forecast. Keep up the great work, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I was kind of hoping Mardi Gras would get canceled tomorrow, but apparently not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's high winds.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, high winds.
Hold on. I'm supposed to fly tomorrow.
Oh, we got more.
Oh,
a huge Sky phallus in the sky during your retirement. Absolute best send off. Senior chief retired. Maybe only Gonky knows. What does Gonky know about Sky phalluses?
Or anything huge for that matter.
Yeah, nope.
Tower, what's your Instagram?
Dude.
This is what I was referring to.
Gonky,
geez,
he's
dude.
back.
You want to do one more and then the mental health minute, or go straight to the mental health minute? MH370, KC46, or Gettysburg? Your choice. Dealer's choice.
Put the Gettysburg up. I'd be interested in Wombats, because Wombat's my favorite person to talk to about naval leadership. All right, so the commander of the Navy ship involved in the F-18 friendly fire incident turns over command. So, he's the SWO community and the aviation community in the Navy butt heads a lot. So I saw this when I was just looking at stuff to chat about with since we had Wombat on the show tonight. And basically, man, the skipper of the Gettysburg had his normal change of command, meaning he did not get really get relieved. Yeah. So hold on. So as you know, Wombat, the Truman, right?
Yeah.
Frosty, who I flew with, he's a good dude, right? I mean, it's been a while, but Frosty trades paint with the freighter. No one dies. Okay, did some damage to a nuke powered carrier, but it's not like Frosty's driving the ship. And I get it. The skipper, and I can't remember his name, the skipper here of the Gettysburg. It's not like he's the one pushing the SM2 fire now button, but it blows me away, the disparity that you see here, that we have. Yeah, Captain Justin Hodges. I don't know him. He's probably a great dude. He was probably asleep in his rack when this happened. But a lot of times in the Navy and the aviation side, and Wombat can back me up, is you could have a very junior sailor do something dumb, and the skipper would get fired for command culture, right? That was the catch-all, the command culture. And it just blows me away that literally the Gettysburg nearly killed 2, arguably 4 aviators.
Not to mention how much Super Hornet costs.
Completely destroyed 1 Super Hornet, right? Wasted a couple $1 million in missiles shooting at their own friendlies, right? I mean, just a catastrophic black eye to U.S. naval power. And he just has a normal change of command. And how long ago? That was in December, right? Dude, Frosty immediately got relieved, right? The skipper of the
and his change of command was only like a week later, supposedly. Frosty, from what I heard.
He'd been there a while, right? So I just think
Navy, be better, Navy. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's wild. And when I was reading this article, I was like, well, they're probably doing an investigation, but it says in the article, they're like, well, they've already basically done the investigation. It's like, well, then apparently, the old Navy saying of promote mediocrity. And again, I don't know this captain, probably a great dude, but it looks really bad. In my opinion. Wombat, what do you think?
Dude, if the Navy wanted to do one thing to drive a rift between black shoes and brown shoes more, it's this. Like, how dumb is this? Like, you treat one for bump. No, and I'm not saying, look, and Frosty would say it. He'd be like, yeah, we screwed up. Like, It's on me. I'm the skipper of the carrier. Like, I guarantee you, right? Was he the one driving the ship? I guarantee you he was not, right? It was a mistake. Nobody died. Nobody died in either incident, but one was way more of a mistake, in my opinion. When you're supposed to be the people in charge of ensuring your flight crews are coming back to the safe space of the aircraft carrier, right? And you shoot one of them down. Like, to me,
it's like a double standard in
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what are we? It's so dumb. Like, the Navy.
Yeah.
I know I'm biased because I went through my own stuff in the Navy, but like, dude, really? Like, really? Like, it's like every time we get to a bar in the Navy of the dumbest thing we could possibly come up with, they're like, watch out, hold my beer. There's one more. Like, you shot down one of our own.
Well, if you remember Wombat about 5 or 6 years ago, and you might remember Mover, the one of the Navy Reserve captains was on the list to be promoted to admiral, and a whistleblower came out and said, no, dude, this guy was in an F-14. He shot down an Air Force F-4 back in the 80s. he should not be flag officer. And
it got all the way to the list.
He made he was gonna get promoted, and exactly. And they were like, no, dude, this is the guy in the Tomcat community in the 80s who shot down an Air Force F4. And what he did was he changed communities, right? So he went, obviously they booted him out, FNAB'd him, booted him out, and he went over into Intel and had a whole crew over there, and it's like their own world over there, right? So it's not the first time, like, you look at who the Navy like promotes, like as far as like in leadership positions,
it was
how they
the
handle.
First time we shot down our own fighter.
Well, there's Mover, what do you think, man? As an Air Force guy, like, I mean, like, does it seem like, in my mind, it's like too, I don't know.
Yeah. First thing, Chowda Hill is the guy who's taken over, and he's dude, he's awesome from everything that we've seen social media wise. He's a good leader, and he was under no obligation to do it. Like, he had earned his reprieve, and to turn around and to go take that over after all that, that's pretty damn cool. I mean, he's a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Navy might be different. Obviously, I've had, Wombat talked about personal leadership struggles with different people. I've seen this, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe Navy might be different. Sometimes the people that get promoted to 06 and end up in these positions are because there's nobody left. They're the only ones, because we have all these ridiculous requirements that we've imposed on ourselves.
Valid.
And when you're looking around going, who's left? Well, that guy didn't do his Air War College, and that guy doesn't have a master's. He might be an expert in his field and loved by everybody, but he didn't check those boxes. So do we really trust him? And then there's another tier that I really didn't even know about before, which is the council of whatever that gets behind closed doors. And they're like, well, that guy, I've known him for a while, because then they protect each other and they create this. So, I mean, when you have a system built like this, how can you expect anything different? It's just the way. I mean, how do you expect something different when the winners and losers are chosen by the winners that were losers before? It's the same people choosing their buddy and choosing, he was with, like,
a broken system.
If the system is choosing people based off of things that really have nothing to do with leadership, then you're going to get people that have nothing to do with leadership. It's that simple.
Well, and let's be clear. If you're relieved of command,
that's
right. It's always the same tagline in the Navy. They're relieved of command due to lack of trust, right? Or whatever the wording is that the Navy uses, which sounds very fluffy. Don't read that as you're immediately court-martialed with a dishonorable and you're not getting any benefits. It means you're done with that job. Career path has just gone off track, wherever you are. So we're not talking, even in this case, as promotions. We're just talking as an aircraft carrier bumped into a tanker, did some damage. A destroyer shot down one of their own. In my opinion, and I think Frosty would probably agree, just because of what we've seen our whole career, both should expect the blurb in Navy Times to say, relieved of command due to lack of trust, blah, blah, blah.
Yep, 100%, dude.
And honestly, by the definition of that, you could probably make an argument that that's the case. Not Frosty's a great guy. I'm not, but my point being is, like, that's just the game. And the higher up you get and the more you're in charge of, you knew that. That was the game, right? I mean, the more people under you, the more chance one of them screws up and you're going to be the one that is standing in front of the man. But to have two things in the same freaking battle group, like, we're not talking one is at war and one is in San Diego Bay. Like, these are operating in the same proximity. These
under the same admiral.
Under the same admiral. Yeah. Was he a shoe? I bet he was.
Probably, dude. You're right.
I bet he was. Somebody will put it in the comments. I bet he was a shoe. Under the same admiral in the same combat ops, and you get two very different.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It's not in my mind. It's not a good look for the Navy or Navy leadership.
Horrible look. So horrible. But
did you say Leo ship?
I came out wrong. Leadership.
Left.
It's a hard word to get out these days because
red leather
it's tough.
due to all your
Carrier.
disabilities. All right.
Cat shot brain, bro.
That's your
Yeah.
brain, bro. Hashtag.
Captain Delta Dog says, greetings from Barnesville, sir.
Oh, nice. That's not far away. There you go down there again.
Spahuga guy
Worst threesome
says,
ever.
when are we finally going to see a threesome? Mover and Wombat and Tomcats, Gonky in his A320 for a DCS showdown.
Why do you get
Why?
the 320?
Why?
I need all the automation, dude. I'm that bad these days.
Mover, if we're together, you're in the back. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not sitting in the back.
No, you saw the order. It's already written there. Mover and Wombat. That means
sorry.
Who's
Unable.
up there?
Radar's
Mover,
bent,
Merlin,
bro.
Maverick,
We're
and
not
Goose.
going.
It was always Maverick and Goose, not Goose and
We're not
Maverick.
going.
No, Mover. They're just talking. No one cares about the guy. They're talking about the pilots, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Who's in the back?
In the
No
back.
one cares.
Doug, you can be my Rio.
I will be loud and useless.
Perfect.
You'd be
You're
a
hired.
perfect Rio, actually.
You're hired.
Too easy. Don't throw
The
softballs.
Islamic Steak. When will we get the Wombat and Tim Davies show? I'm sure those men would have a productive discussion on the great decisions that the UK and US militaries are making.
Yeah. Well, we'd have to do it at like 3 a.m. for one of us.
Hey, we got to tell them next week. The show will be at 2 p.m. Eastern because we are interviewing the German Eurofighter pilot, and we didn't want to Tim Davies him.
True. We want exactly.
So in order to be at 7 p.m. GMT, which we think we did that math right, we're not 100% sure.
You got a week.
We're starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. our time, whatever time it is for him.
Not
yes.
invited.
You can if you'd like to. It's just daytime, daytime operations.
It's fine.
It's gonna be.
And then 93 Navman says, I spent 25 years protecting the best of the best in the U.S. Navy as a maintainer. Facts. I counseled young pilots many times on these things. I got you until you are weight off wheels. Weight on wheels.
Yep.
On you then. Awesome.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Airplane on a stick.
Thank you.
All right. Mental health minute.
No regrets, baby.
This ain't news or nothing.
This ain't news.
Where is it? It's right.
Yeah.
Confidence is contagious. Well, that's also no regrets. Wombat, I'm gonna let you kick this off, dude.
I'm not
you
kicking
said,
this
when
off.
we were talking about what earlier, you said you had a whole thing teed up, and I'm excited to hear what you've got to say. I would like
you
to
didn't
lead
tell
us...
me what the mental health minute is. So nice job. That's awesome. You're like, I'm going to let you start.
Okay, fine. I'll start. This is
Perfect.
Mental health. Do it.
Be healthy.
Well, so I mean,
mentally.
We alluded to it last week. It's actually a couple things. One, I was going through kind of a decision-making process of, whether I wanted to put the time, money, effort, etc. into racing. Because a lot of people think, well, it's dumb or frivolous or whatever, but it was a tough decision for me, and it's still a tough decision. Like, to the second, it's a back and forth of, did I do the right thing? Did I not do the right thing? And I'd put confidence is contagious because there was a quote, confidence is contagious, so is lack of confidence, with Vince Lombardi in the Green Bay Packers. And that's one of the quotes they made us memorize in Air Force officer training school. When you are in the fighter world or military aviation or whatever, one thing you'll pick up on is when we brief something, we basically say, this is how it is. It's not hopes and wishes and dreams and everything. It is, we are going to do this. This is how we're going to execute. This is the plan. Now, it doesn't always work, and that's why you have contingency plans. But we don't fear that we're going to jinx it or screw it up because we can't say positive things. And that's something I have found myself not realizing, and something I struggle with is that, I'll think of something like, hey, I want to go do this race car thing. And instead of saying, well, are you going to go race? Well, hopefully, if it works out, I'm not real sure. Maybe it's not the right thing. Because I think sometimes we mistake humility for just a lack of confidence, a lack of the fortitude and the resolve to do what we want to do and what needs to be done, versus the self-actualization of it, of saying, I'm going to do this and this is how I'm going to execute. And if it doesn't work out, this is what I'll do. I think that is a lot better. And especially people talk about manifesting and all that stuff. Well, that positive attitude of, hey, I'm going to go do this and it's going to work out because it's always worked out. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to do plan B, C, etc. And dude, I struggle with them. I suck at it. I mean, dude, it was a very tough decision. And for me, a lot of that came down to in 2021, 2022, very rough time for me, 2023. I became a person that was not very sure of anything. And when big decisions come up, sometimes I revert to that, because for me, the nervousness of, well, you know, things blew up big time last time. How do I make sure that things work? And sometimes it just comes down to having, you know, friends that tell you, hey, you can go do it, or I think it's a good idea, or friends that don't tell you, hey, whatever your decision is, go do the opposite. I don't know if who might say that, but you might have some friends that do that. But having that support network that helps you out and believing in yourself, believing that whatever decision you make is going to be the right decision and it's going to work out because it has to. And that's what I'll say on that. Wombat, please take it away.
To me, it's simple, and it's not an easy skill. It's something that you have to work on, in my case, every day. Confidence. But one of the things that I've said before, and I truly mean it, is if anybody in this world, whether they're watching this podcast or know me or run into me, or I get to fly them somewhere, even remotely thinks I've been successful in anything in my life, if there is any ounce of success that when somebody looks at me goes, that guy is successful based on X, Y, or Z, it is purely 100% because I am too stupid to know what my limitations are. So when I look at something, and the story I tell is and Gonky probably remembers this because I was sitting on his couch in Lemoore dating my now wife, and we were watching a comedy, stand-up comedy, and she laughed and she goes, wow, this guy's really funny. And I go, yeah, I think it'd be a fun job. I could probably do that. And she paused it. We had just met. I mean, we probably only know each other a couple of weeks. And she goes, you legitimately right now think that you have the ability to do live stand-up comedy? I mean, the guy was at like Madison Square Garden. And I was like, well, he can. Like, why couldn't I? Right. So, I mean, it's evidence, and she'll tell that story now. I mean, she's just like, it's evidence of my ability to really process like what my limits are. And that's something I think I've honed over the years. And to use an aviation analogy, because this is an aviation show, allegedly, if you think about flying, right, it's easy to go flying on a clear day. Right. I don't care if you're flying in a 777, a fighter, or a Cessna. If it is a beautifully clear, calm wind day, it is very easy to go flying. The hard day is when you taxi out and you look up and there's ominous clouds, right? And you're like, man, I don't know what's up there. But the key in life that I think when it comes to achieving your goals and constantly moving forward and having that confidence, and whether that confidence is 100% valid or not, whether you're just stupid like me and you're like, well, yeah, let's go for it. Or you think you might be able to do it, or you really think you can do it. It depends. There's different levels of confidence. It's like climbing off the ground into that cloud deck, right? You just have to trust that if you climb high enough, it's going to get sunny. You're going to break through the clouds, right? But then life happens. And sometimes you climb up, and just so everybody's clear, because we live in stupid internet world, I'm not advocating that you fly into storms or icing, for the record. But as things happen in your life, you hit these storms, you hit icing, you hit things that may scare you, that may cause you to have a setback, that may outperform you that day to where you have to descend back down and regroup. But you have to keep striving to break through those clouds every day. And this isn't like some huge, massive thing that we're talking about. It's little things. It's all the little wins every day. You know, did I wake up on my alarm? I did. Okay, I have the confidence I can do that tomorrow. Do I even have to set an alarm anymore? I don't, because I've trained my body that I get up at this time. What is my next set of goals? I mean, is it something minor like me, where it's like get back into writing and try to annoy people with a third book or a fourth book? Or is it something pretty monumental like you chasing your dream of going racing? It doesn't matter. It's that cloud deck above you, because you've been in the storm, you've been in the icing, and you've gotten, whether you wanted to or not, had to descend down. But the confidence is this time, what happened on the previous time doesn't mean that's what's going to happen on this time. So you need to go into this endeavor and look at it like you're not climbing out in a 172. You're in your Viper that's slicked out, big mouth, whatever you guys call them, and you're going to do a vertical climb right through that cloud. And you're not even going to remember the cloud. Flight's going to be over, and the cloud was never even there because it was a blip on your radar. And that is the confidence when you can train your body to be able to do that, and to be able to take something in front of you, an adversary, whatever it is, and go, it's not even on my radar, because I'm going to mow through it as quickly as possible. And I'm already looking 10 minutes past the cloud because it's not even a factor. Now, whether you're doing that because you have hard and fast data that shows that you have that ability, or like in my case, you're just too stupid to know any different, it doesn't matter, because the end result, we're both above the clouds and the sun. And that's that confidence. If you don't have it, you can't accomplish anything. You have to trick your brain into having that. But there's a fine line, like everything, right? We come from a world where many of our friends, ourselves too at times, have gone from confidence to maybe slightly the other C word, gotten cocky. And that's where you get yourself in trouble, right? I had this discussion with my 6-year-old the other day. We went to a Cars and Coffee. First time we brought the car out. He's having a blast walking around by himself, sitting in $1 million Ford GTs. He's got confidence, right? I'm watching him. He was talking to this couple who had a 78 Firebird Formula. And he's sitting there telling them about my first car. He's telling them all about the model I gave him with the original car keys still in the back seat. He's 6 and he's talking to this couple, right? Just like we're talking here. That level of confidence, I never want him to lose. And I told him that afterwards. We sat in the parking lot and I said, I never, ever want you to lose that confidence. You are unstoppable with that level of confidence. As soon as it ticks over to cocky, now we have problems. And he knows that. And he goes, well, I'll just stay confident. And I go, I wish it was that simple, because what's going to happen is life is either going to do one of two things. It's either going to diverge you into cocky because you got good things going, right? It's a golden retriever theory, right? Nothing sticks to you. Life's good. I can do whatever I want. Or it's going to knock you off your confidence. And if that happens, frankly, both in a way are equally hard to correct. You just have to correct in a different way. So when we're talking that the confidence is the key here, to me, it's imperative, whether it's actually because, and most people are smarter than me, if it's actually because you have looked at the data, you've looked at the skill set, you've looked at the accomplishment you want to make, and you have a clear plan to accomplish it, that's good confidence. Maybe you're a wombat and you're just an idiot and you're like, I could race or whatever. But as long as the confidence is still there, then your mind's out of the picture, right? You don't have to battle your own internal demons. Now you just have to do the best thing you can do to achieve that goal.
Gonky.
Tough act to follow. Yeah, confidence is contagious. That's I don't know. I lean on my faith in God a lot for confidence. But another thing, Mover, you brought it up with language. So pretty sure Tony Robbins says this. Maybe Mike Tyson, not sure. But
oh boy,
the words
you've
that
read
you
like
use.
2 self-help books and you're quoting people. You should just stop quoting people.
Well, no, dude. It's so like I have this. So, for example, Wombat, when we were going through T-37's advance, when I first got to the flying part, I was having a hard time, and I was talking to myself in a demeaning way, like I'm such an idiot, you're an idiot, but I'm an idiot, I'm going to fail out, right? Well, it puts your mind and your body in a state of just hands up submission. Yep. So I reckon, and this is before I read any Tony Robbins stuff, right? And I just thought, you know what, dude, if I'm going to fail out of this program, I'm going to fail hard, dude. And I started listening to some really angry music, and
I remember.
And I found myself like, and when I was in the airplane, when I'd start having problems, I'd start beating myself up. I would use music, man. Really angry stuff like, White Zombie, all the good stuff from the 90s. And it would put me in a state of anger, right? So like you just fear, it's flight or fight, right? And I would go from flight to fight, and that would change my confidence in myself, like almost immediately, right? Because now I'm on the offensive. Even if I get beat, I'm on the offensive, right? So I've been beat many times being offensive, right, so to speak. But I found that was a very, very valuable lesson in the words that you use, like Mover said, when you're talking, and the words that you're using between your ears when you're talking to yourself, or when you're going through something, because that can really put you in a state you don't want to be in. And then vice versa, if you're able to reverse it, it can put you back on track, right? Because I mean, I look at it now, I'm like, man, it's almost common sense, right? Because when times are good and you're like confident with yourself and you're talking highly of yourself, you're like, I take on the world, do this, that, and the other. And then, when things aren't going bad, right, the Debbie Downer talk starts, and it's not so good. When I was going through, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but the guys that taught me how to fly the Hornet, they were really good. And they used to tell me all the time, they're like, fake it till you make it. If you don't know the answer, answer confidently. Right. So
you've got that.
Well, correct. Right.
Still to this day.
But, they just didn't say it. I saw many times in the flight, we would brief. And we go down to maintenance. It'd be a BVR event, we'd be fighting, air to air stuff, doing sets starting out 50 miles away where you need a good radar. Maintenance would be like, only one jet has the good radar. And the IP would be like, give it to the stud. I don't need a radar. We're going to kill everybody. And, we would die, right? Because, but
I'm confident this plan is horrible, actually.
Yeah, but the point is, as a young, impressionable fighter pilot, I'm standing there and I'm like, it was without a blink. It was just like, no, hey, give it to him. I don't need it. We're still going to kill everybody. Hey, Gonky, get in your jet, start up on time, check in. Listen, if I ask you, for some radar essay, you better give it to me. And it immediately puts you in a posture of like, dude, we're going to win no matter what, right? Yep. That kind of thing. So it is contagious, right? Because, when I went down as a student, I heard one radar. In my mind, I was like, oh, please, God, give it to him, because I don't know what to do with a good radar. It's like I'll shoot the airliner out of the area. It's like, but those were good lessons, man. So, confidence really does, really is contagious, and we didn't put it in there, but the opposite is true, right? A lack of confidence breeds a lack of confidence, right, with the people around you. So that's why it's also really important. Mover touched on it as well. I think Wombat, like the the friends around you, right? Your support group. So that's important as well. But that's all I got. Doug, sorry, go ahead, dude.
You reminded me of something that, again, aviation related, and I think I've talked about it before on the show, but it really applies to this. Is like, you knew me directly in Vance and the struggles I had with. It's very easy to get not confident when you're vomiting on every flight, and you see the end of your career long before it should have ever been there. And I remember there was a Navy IP, and he goes, "Here's the thing, man." He goes, "Let me tell you my trick. And he goes, when I do a walk around of every plane, I've done this from what it was told to me, and I still do it to this day. He goes, I do my pre-flight outside, and I walk around the nose, and I touch the nose of the aircraft, and I get real close, and I whisper it, I own you. And I keep going. And he goes, it sounds stupid, but try it. So I went out on my next flight. It was on my check ride for my Save for Solo, the one that I've talked about throwing up upside down in the loop. But I owned the jet. I took that confidence and I was like, no, I am in the driver's seat here. This is mine. I may or may not still do that to this day because it sets a tone in your brain as to who's in control. And again, I don't think about it when I'm flying. I don't think about it when I'm trying to achieve a goal on whether I'm actually in control, but I've at least tricked myself long enough to give myself a shot. And if you can do that, you got a chance. Right? You got a chance to break through those clouds, that cloud deck, the storms, the icing. But if you never get to that point and you never take off, you're definitely not going to go through the clouds. That's
Doug.
You guys, between the three of you, really put it together. For me, when I'm having trouble with my own confidence, I always try to have a really good plan. And usually my plan will involve reviewing what happened last time, and that's gotten me through a lot. It's like, look, I did this well last time. I'm ready to do it again. This is just an opportunity to go out and show my stuff, and it's good to be able to back it up. You don't want to go out there and fail and end up deceiving yourself. But then if you can't do that yourself, that's when, like Mover said, you need to have other people who can say, hey, you had this last time, you're gonna have it this time, and nothing's changed.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Doug. Brian says mental health, do it. That's another shirt. John says optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Helen Keller.
Very nice.
Navman, Gonky, how many times you have your FDC salute you before you get out of the chocks and chains? I train my chiefs to be that dude. Respect. I don't sit on that seat. Once to the cat, we are helpless.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every time, right? Wombat, you taxi out after they unchain you, they give you a smart salute and off the races. Yeah,
I miss those days.
So do I.
Miss them.
Navman also says, love the discussion. Not everyone flies the jet, but the last word before settling up comes from folks that give a darn. I want you and that jet to come back. If it not affects us 2-3 hours in front of us. Thanks, Navman.
Thanks, man.
And then Rogue Model, just cool helicopter.
Thanks, Rogue.
Appreciate your contribution. And this ain't the news or nothing, but the show is over.
I can't believe I said that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch, dude. I think you guys misheard me. Maybe.
All right. Well, I got to go stand at a Mardi Gras parade tomorrow, so it is
I'm gonna
time
go see how fast I can fly an empty plane tomorrow.
And
bring your beads.
Show. Have a good night.
Yeah,
we appreciate you. Oh, Rogue Pilot says disabled in pain tonight really helped, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
but I'm glad it helped.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk more mental health minutes because I've got probably 8 weeks to come to terms with my decisions. So and also find funds for it.
You had it last time. You've got it this time.
There you go. Thank you, Doug.
I just won't talk to Gonky. I'll just stay to Doug.
Wait a minute, dude. I've been totally supportive.
You told me whatever Mover does, do the opposite.
But that was before this particular.
Oh yeah, this time you mean it. Sure.
All right.
Anyway,
don't listen to the golden retriever.
Thanks. He's not so golden now. He's more like Eeyore. The beard has changed him. This is like
he has those moments. I've seen him over the years. He'll come back.
I miss, the beard made him a very angry son. In fact, since you've had the beard, everything's gone wrong.
Shave the beard.
Valid. This happened to me with I tell you what, when I never did the mustache thing on the boat, because when I did, I almost died. And I shaved that sucker off, and
because the mustache was the fault of your life.
Really, it was Wombat, because I shaved the mustache off, and I never ever had another issue.
I never died again.
I never nearly died.
That's true. That's true. So every one of the one wires you got without a mustache were totally safe. That's a good point.
Safe. It's like an in-flight one right in there, dude.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Night,
Goodbye.
folks.